Does anyone want to see the new Frameworks bike? Can I get a what in chat? Or like a something? I don't know. Come on, chat. What you got? Hello. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
What up, everybody? We're live, hopefully.
What up? I am black on the screen. I can see.
I don't know why. Hold on, let me fix it. There we go. You know, it wouldn't be a typical Session Syndicate stream if we didn't screw up something right off the bat. We're here, and we've got a big update today to go over. My mom just texted me. Let's see what it's about because she loves the streams. Quickly, what's in front of your name? I don't know what's in front of my name. Mom, what are you talking about? Anyway, we got a big update today. Guys, look at the new bike. The Frameworks bike is in. It's got some bugs, which we'll go over. But it's here, and it looks beautiful. Rides beautifully. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over all the other big changes that'll go in the update to the Patreon members tomorrow. We're just going to hang out, answer you guys' questions, and have fun. So, yeah.
My plan today is to answer more questions in the chat as opposed to sort of answering the same questions over and over again on the stream. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. All right. What's up, Clutch? What's up, Grady? Welcome, Swedish and Jack over on the TikTok side, and on the YouTube side, we've got Nano and Aaron is here with us as always, and Squatch, Ollie. Nice to see you guys. Adam, nice to see you as well. Tell us what you're working on right now, Joe. What are you doing?
Well, I'm just cruising, just checking out the new trail progress from Antgrass. Antgrass has got this new trail system kind of in this new area. So I'm just testing, seeing what he's added in the last few days. So what we're doing, we're gonna start working on like the beginner section. So when you first start the game, and I'll show you guys right here with the new drone, bam. When you first start the game, there's just, there'll be multiple chairlifts, but you only have one unlocked, and that one will take you up to some beginner trails. So this kind of section right here, or it might be over here. Either way, it doesn't matter exactly where it'll be, but we're gonna start working on like the beginner section where I have like a lot of greens and blue trails. And that'll be the first place people unlock. So as more and more new people start playing the game, we can start them in that section and kind of ease them into the game. But Cedric, also known as Antgrass, has been working on all these trails you see right here. So all these are new within the last, I don't know, within September. Lots of trails right here that kind of intersect. The drone is new. You guys can use the drone to place markers and get around the map quickly, which is cool. So I was just going to mess around on Antgrass's new trails while we hang out and see what you guys got. Frameworks as in Specialized, says Grady out. Now, Frameworks as in the bike company, that's Frameworks. Nico Mullally, pro rider.
Rideframeworks.com. Rideframeworks.com. That bike, that company.
Yeah, Nico Mullally started it. It's a work in progress. We've got some bugs to fix with it, but there you go. You can see it. It's the same bike Asa Vermette rides. Yeah, well, Cordial's in the chat, dude. What's up, Cordial? He says, yo, this new bike and drone update is looking sick. Can't wait to check it out. Hell yeah, I should have a build for you, Cordial, tomorrow. Got a bunch of new trails. We've got a new checkpoint system. Lots of new stuff coming in. Duck Nasty asked about a Steam launch. Steam page is up, so if you guys want a wish list, we would very much appreciate it. And we hope to have a free Steam demo probably this winter, or if not, at least a free like Steam playtest type deal. So get on the wish list to know when that goes live.
Cordial, I think there's like a little share button there on your screen, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, shit.
If you would feel so inclined, of course, it's all. Hey, Karen, what's up over on the YouTube side? Welcome. Ollie is back, and Chill Clinton is here.
What up,
Oliver,
Mom?
again, hey. Yeah, we got a good crew today already. It's feeling good. When does this model drop? EC asks on TikTok. Tomorrow. We're still good for tomorrow, Joe?
Yeah, so there's some bugs. We could talk about the bugs now, actually, with the bike. Not bugs, but there's just like polish that needs to happen. So if you guys look closely, you can see some holes in the headset that are like going in through the ground. That obviously shouldn't be there. Maggie has already fixed that. We just need to put it in the game. It looks like we're missing a shifter cable, or at least the shifter cable's not connected to the shifter there. I don't know if they know about that, but we'll have to fix that. Let me see what else there was. There's just little stuff like there's a chain guard missing. There was no valves on the tires. There was no seat clamp. The color of the rear shock is wrong. Some other colors here and there are wrong. So it's kind of a little bit of things here and there that are getting polished and going to get added in tomorrow. But if for some reason things don't work out and all that stuff doesn't get fixed tomorrow, either way, we'll release a build tomorrow. So you'll either have an unpolished bike that you see here, or you'll have a more polished version where Maggie and Zach will fix it up tomorrow. So either way, we'll drop a new build tomorrow. But I'm going to keep rolling on these new trails. Here's a new really fun jump line that has this like super flowy jumps. Another exciting thing actually that Zach showed me today. I don't have a preview to show you guys yet, but now, you know, we've been telling you guys once we get the new bike and the new rider model in the game is when we'll start working on third person. A lot of you have been asking about third person. So Zach actually showed me a teaser today in Discord where he had third person up and running, and we were worried that once we got third person, the rider and the bike and the movement and everything would look bad, and we'd have to spend a decent amount of time kind of fixing things up and making it look good. But to our surprise, things actually already looked really good. The whips look so sick in third person, it's actually insane. So kind of hyped to get third person in the game, hopefully soon-ish.
Joe told me that about 10 minutes ago, and I made a face that I realized later would have made a good YouTube thumbnail, because, you know, everybody does their thumbnails and they have to do like a crazy face. I had an authentic one when you told me third person was already kicking and already looked pretty good. So that was kind of shocking to me, actually. Goose Fraba, what's up? Makai here too. Man, the crew's here. Josh on Roscoe is here. Nice.
Cool. I've got an overlay on I figured out TikTok has this cool like transparent overlay you can get, so I'm hoping I can be more responsive to chat. Usually I'm playing and I'm kind of whatever. But Lewis McDonald asked, will the game be free? No, the game is going to be a paid game. We don't know the price yet, but for now you can get it on our Patreon for $5 if you want to play the same kind of build you're seeing now. Like this build will go out tomorrow, so if you want to get in on that, join the Patreon. Cordial says, can't wait for third person. Yeah, me too. I think third person will be fun for tricks.
Clutch says he saw Sam Tabor play the game. Yep, awesome. I will say our guy Cordial, I think, did drop news on this game well before Sam did, which is nothing bad about Sam. He's awesome, but Cordial got in on this stuff early. So if you haven't seen the Cordial version, I think he's done 2 videos maybe of Crank now. If you haven't seen those, I encourage you to check them out. Great stuff. Grady asked, can we get a look at the bike using the front? I think you'll do a couple of spin arounds during the day, I would say.
Yeah, what do you want to see?
Just show them the bike from all angles, I think. While you're doing that, I'll answer a couple of questions here. Some questions about how much it costs. I'll just do the kind of initial Patreon spiel now. We are in the prototype stage. We're pre-alpha still at this point. We've been doing this for about 5 months. A little more than that at this. We're closing in on 6 months now, I think. And you can play the build Joe has. Actually, the build Joe has, you'll be able to play tomorrow via our Patreon. If you support us on Patreon, even with the lowest paid tier, which is $5 a month, you'll get all the builds that we do over the course of the month. You get to keep them, even if you cancel your subscription after a month. And you just play everything, develop in public with us on Patreon and on Discord. That's what we've got right now. But no price yet on the final release. You can wishlist on Steam now, and we would love for everybody to go wishlist this thing on Steam if you use that platform. Helps us for sure. But we don't know when the final release is going to be. It's still quite early. I'll be honest with you. You know, we get a lot of questions about when's the game going to release. In a way, it already is, really. I mean, if we're just going to kind of keep always rolling out what's new, it's almost like global release and everything is more of a designation than a practical thing for players. If you can play it anyway, the latest version of it at all times. Kind of like it's already out, really. Just a really sort of early work in progress version of it. Something I've been thinking about, Joe. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you're not the type to want to get in super early when things aren't finished, I get that. But otherwise, I mean, I think it's fun. It's already fun. There's leaderboards. There's a lot to do.
And if you support us on Patreon and you spend a total of $50 over time, so that could be 10 months at the $5 tier, for instance, then you'll get the game. You get a key for the game, and you'll get it as soon as it is released publicly. Dylan's absolutely loving it. Great. Fartface wants to know if it'll be free. It's not. We are going to have a free demo, and we think that's coming in the coming months. But the final game's not going to be free. We're not into ads. We're not into a lot of the free-to-play mechanics. We've done a lot of that in the past when we made mobile games, and we're just kind of personally not our thing anymore. We want to design something that's all about quality and charge a fair price for it. That's what we're going to do. But there'll be a demo so you can play it and make sure it's for you before you spend your hard-earned money. Because we only want people to spend their money if they really want to play our game.
Pipe King says, I got a question, but it's not about the game. What you got, dude? Fire off.
Let's go. Let's go. Are we going to add suspension physics? There's another one for you, Joe.
Yeah,
that's a good
so
question.
That's something Zach's working on. He'll probably be working on that this coming week. So yes, that's very important. Now that the bike is in, we hadn't done it because we were waiting for the new bike, but now that the new bike is actually in, he will start. That's actually why he started working on third person, is because he wanted the third person camera to be able to work on the suspension physics. You got to be able to see the suspension moving to work on it, kind of. So that's why he put in third person, so that he could start working on suspension physics and movement. Can you do trick? Man, chat's popping off. I'll try to hit you guys all up here, but if we miss you, just ask again. Can you do tricks on the bike? Yeah, I can show you some stuff you can do. We don't have like animated tricks like Supermans and tail whips and stuff, but you can do spins, flips, wheelies, manuals, scrubs, whips. And the spins and flips are actually pretty immersive and kind of dynamic, I guess is the word, because if you tuck in a flip, you spin faster, or you flip faster, and if you pencil up in a spin, you spin faster. So with the stick, you can kind of control the speed of your spin. Like, here you go. There's a fast spin. Then I'll do a slow spin here. So you can really kind of play with things based on if you're tucked or not tucked and all that kind of stuff.
Whoa, we see what Pipe King wanted to bring up now. The question that's not about cranks, but is an interesting one. He says, Mad Skills Motocross 3 Bike 8. He thinks someone accidentally added an extra 0 to the price. Pipe King, I don't know anything about that right now. I haven't been paying much attention to what the crew is doing on a day-to-day basis over on the Mad Skills side of things, but I'm going to send your message. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to send it over to Dana right now just so she can kind of see that. Thank you for that.
Swedish asks, is there going to be bigger whips without the camera following to the side? Yes, absolutely. We've got a lot of camera work to be done, which is going to get worked on soon, and one of the settings will be kind of adjusting how much you want the camera to follow the bike or not. So if you want to turn that off, like the setting that MX Bikes has, you'll be able to. Yeah, we'll make arms and legs, Wyatt 5, or who, no, not you. Refuse Rage. Do a wheelie. All right, wheelie's coming up right here. Not Alex.
Wheelie.
Manual. Actually, I'll do a manual instead. Hope that's okay.
Oh. Just got another Patreon follower from Ben McKenzie. Ben, I don't know if you're hanging with us right now. If so, thank you for following us on Patreon. For supporting us on Patreon. It really helps us get this thing done. So thank you. If anybody else here is listening and you don't support us on Patreon, even the free tier is cool, and at least allows us to show you what we've got going on a regular basis. But if you want to play the game, that's the way to do it. Through our Patreon.
What else? Malk, you all cooking, especially with skate getting more and more hype. Yeah, we're trying our best, man. I think we did see kind of a slowdown on the Patreon memberships once skate launched. I think people are over there having fun, but I've been having fun on skate too. I dig skate. Nilariz MTB says, what's your thoughts on BMX Streets? I honestly haven't played it a ton. I have played it enough to know that I think it's fun. I love it. I think it's a great game. I also like Street Dog BMX, which isn't fully out yet, but there is a demo. I like them both. I think one's a little more realistic simulator, and Street Dog's a little more arcadey, so it depends on what you like. But I think both those games for BMX street riding are awesome. What can you play this on when it's released? Asked Colt Gandy. Initially, we're going to have it on Steam. So Steam for PC and Mac is the plan. And then after we've got the PC version dialed, then we'll figure out how to launch it on consoles. We'll try to get it on all the major consoles.
Joe, our guy Goose Frob is hanging with us on YouTube as usual and asks, are we going to be able to customize any of the bikes or add anything to them like decals?
Yeah, we're going to have some customization for sure. The full details of that we'll talk about later because we're still figuring all that out. But for sure, I want you to be able to kind of customize the colors of all the different components, similar to how like Street Dog BMX does it. I'd love to be able to like put decals or stickers on your bike. I'd like to have kind of custom full bike graphics sets that we release that you could unlock. And then hopefully we'll be able to partner with bike brands and have different versions of the different categories of bikes. So like, for example, this is the downhill bike. You know, right now this is the Frameworks bike, but I'd love to have other brands, you know, like say you could get a Santa Cruz V10, for example, or whatever. So it'd be fun to kind of be able to choose those as well. And that would change the look of your bike, but not the physics of it.
Nice. We got
go ahead.
some more questions on the TikTok side of things. Victor's asking a question. Will it be on console or just Steam? Initially, it's you know, for PC. Right now, you can play it on PC, Mac, or Steam Deck as well. Initially, we'll launch on Steam, but consoles are a big part of the plan. You know, we kind of are a big proponent of doing one thing and trying to do it really well at a time until we do it well, and then doing the next thing. Sometimes when you bite off more than you can chew, nothing's all that great. And if you focus on the most important thing when you should be focusing on it, then sometimes it works out better. That's kind of what our philosophy is and what we're focusing on. So PC first and Steam first, and then consoles later. LN says you're going to be able to change the suspension FOV quality, etc. Joe,
I don't know. FOV quality? What do you mean by that?
Field of view? Is that what you meant by that? I'm not sure what I meant either. I asked it the way I did because I thought maybe that was a term I didn't know, but it sounds like neither of us know it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can change FOV and stuff like that in the game, but we won't have any sort of like suspension tuning or anything like that. And that's a design choice, mostly because I prefer when everyone's on a level playing field. For example, MX bikes, it annoys me that I have to like figure out my setup, and I always am like figuring out who's got the good setup and did I lose because my setup was messed up. I don't know. I just want to hop in a game, play it, not have to worry about setup. So we probably won't have any sort of tuning or anything like that.
Nice. We got a good question from F7. Welcome, F7. Wants to know, what big bugs do you need to fix, and is this game made in Unity or Unreal Engine? I can answer and say that it's made in Unity. We come from the Mad Skills mobile games, and we did all those games in Unity, so it's just what we're really comfortable with it. And Zach felt like that was the best tool for him to make the best physics that he was capable of. So we've used Unity. But Joe, I'll kind of let you answer the question as far as what big bugs we need to fix right now. It's a great question.
I don't know if there's big bugs that we need to fix, because Zach has been doing a good job of kind of keeping up with bugs. Actually, this build we'll be releasing to you guys tomorrow has a ton of bug fixes in it. I'm sure there's still some left over, but big ones, I'm not so sure. I mean, there's big mechanics and content that we need to add. You know, like the crash detection physics kind of still need to be worked on. Different material physics need to be worked on. Obviously, the whole metagame of challenges and achievements and you know, things like that need to be added. Multiplayer needs to be added. So there's lots of things that need to be added. But as far as big bugs, I think right now there's not, you know, there's no like game breaking or big bugs like that.
What's up, Joey K? Welcome, man. It's good to see you here all the time, as always. Daniela K, I think it's Daniela is how you would say your name, I believe. My apologies if I have it wrong. But you want to know when we're going to launch the new build. That'll be tomorrow. Joe, are you going to wipe the leaderboards? That's a question from Ollie.
No leaderboard wipe, because we didn't change any physics or anything, I don't believe. So there shouldn't be a leaderboard wipe. Also, the leaderboard, since last leaderboard wipe, there hasn't been a ton of activity. So the leaderboards are kind of empty anyway. So I don't think we need it.
Let's do a quick rundown as you crush this trail, Joe. I'm going to do a quick rundown over on the TikTok side. Hey, guys, what's up? We've got a crew over there right now. People are coming in big time. Hey, everybody, especially on the TikTok side, if I miss anything, I'm getting better at monitoring all this stuff, but, you know, I'm kind of a rookie, so please be patient with me. If I miss something and it's clear that I miss it, feel free to just ask me again, and I'll do my best. And F7, thank you for following as well. Mr. Ego wants to know, suggests that there need to be more VR games and thinks this would be interesting. We do get that a lot. We don't really think too much about it coming in, but we've heard it so much that it's, I don't know. Seems like a pretty cool idea to us at this point. So again, one thing at a time. We're not there yet, but maybe one of these days it's possible. And Will, yep, it's the new bike model. Will, yeah, this is the Frameworks bike. This is kind of the first real footage we're showing of it. It's going to release in the Patreon builds for everybody tomorrow. And Robbie, can you hit backflips or no? Yeah,
right
let's
here.
let Joe show you
right
if you
here.
can hit back.
Right here. You ready?
Here we go. This is for you, Robbie. It's all for you, man. And yeah, Mr. Ego.
Hope you're still here.
Co-op to play with friends is a pillar of this game. You know, when you ride with your friends, and we are trying to recreate the feeling of riding. I don't think we can make this game without just killer friend play. So yeah, big part of what we're doing here. Salty, not on Xbox yet. To everybody, it's just a prototype right now. About almost 6 months into development. You can play it on PC, Mac, and Steam Deck. Right now, that's it. Eventually, we'll bring it to consoles, and after that, who knows? It's hard to tell. And as far as price, Cameron and anybody else asking as far as price, if you could support us on Patreon for as low as $5 a month, and you get all the builds that we do that month, and you get to keep them for good. If you ultimately pledge $50 over time, then you'll get a key for the final game. But we will have a free demo here, you know. So if you're kind of not sure it's for you, or you know, you don't have much money or whatever, give us a little time. We'll get the demo out, and you can check it out and see if it's for you. We believe in this game, and we want to get it in the hands of as many players as we can, so people can kind of see for themselves what they think about it. It's so much easier than us having to explain what's different about this than other games, etc. If we can just say play it. So that's the plan.
Mr. Ego asked, are these procedurally generated maps? No, these are all handcrafted maps that we're taking a lot of care to put into by Antgrass. Sorry that you guys see this. There we go.
Nikki, thank you for sharing the live. Very much appreciate that. Go ahead, Joe.
So yeah, these are all custom made from Antgrass, who was a modder, Descenders modder, and he now works for us. So we're gonna have about 40 trails on this big map. But Brian, keep rolling through all the questions. Let's go.
Yeah, again, console question we'll answer that a number of times. Eventually console, yeah, but we're a prototype on PC right now, so it's going to be a little while. If it's released on Steam, are you concerned that it might be pirated? You know, we come from the Mad Skills mobile games. I got to where I didn't even like pay attention to the emails of all the people who were just stealing it and pirating it and posting it. It happens. You know, what are we going to do? There are 5 of it. Like first of all, very fair question. I got it, but no, we're not super concerned about it. Hopefully people don't. Hopefully people are like, these are, you know, it's an indie dev and they've worked hard on this, and most people feel like it's worth actually supporting this. But I'm sure it'll happen some, and I'm not losing sleep over it. Joe, you worried about it?
Nope. Honestly, I mean, I've heard other indie devs say this. No, not the tree. Oh, okay, a little tire tap on the tree, guys. I've heard other indie devs say this. I'd rather you pirate and play the game than never play the game, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
whatever.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, guys, we are kind of over playing the game, frankly. We've done it before, and now we've just decided to focus on knowing what we want to make and giving it out, making the absolute best thing we can make, and figuring it probably will work out okay, especially if we're kind of conservative in the way we spend money, and we don't blow money in a stupid way. We're careful about what we do. We try to be really efficient in what we do, and so, you know, is what it is. We're not too worried about it.
Hey, Swedish, thanks for the roses and all the hearts and stuff. And I see you just asked, is there going to be any in-game purchases? I actually made a post about this morning. Our plan, we call it the no bullshit guarantee, and we don't want to have microtransactions or like, you know, loot boxes or anything like that. But we will probably have DLC at some point. Like, we want to do other maps. This big map will take us probably a year to make and cost quite a bit of money. And then the hope is that we can, you know, follow it up with another map and kind of another biome with another style. So maybe when that map comes out, it's like a $5 or $10 drop, and you get this huge map with like 40 new trails, something like that. So yeah, we probably will do some sort of DLC, but we want it to be fair. We're obviously going to do most of the updates we do to this game will be free. But I think every now and then there might be a huge update that, you know, cost us a ton of money that we might charge a little bit for.
I just lost sound on your bike, Joe.
Still?
Actually, we've lost. Yeah, I lost the. I don't know what happened. I lost the whole stream. I actually lost the,
here. Maybe
the
I
whole
forgot
overlay and everything.
It's because I forgot to switch. Is it better now?
Yeah, I still don't hear the bike sound, but we'll see if it comes up.
The bike's
if
not
the overlay
moving,
comes.
So.
There we go. I got the bike now. I'm just waiting for the overlay to come up on YouTube, because on YouTube all I see right now is.
It'll be like 10 seconds later. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yep, we're good. We're good.
Cool. Oh man, chat's popping off.
Yeah, thank you guys for being patient with us. We like to play a little bit. We have some things we want to talk about today. Every time we do that, we get behind on the chat and we feel bad about it, but we're doing our best. We are doing our best. Man, so many people are sharing the live. Tuna Fish sharing the live. Thank you so much. I saw someone else a minute ago I wanted to give a shout out to for sharing the live. I can't remember what her name was, but she shared it and I appreciate it, and I wanted to say thank you very much.
I see.
It is on Steam, Robbie, for wishlist. Yes, if everybody, if you could hop over to Steam and wishlist this game, just search for Crank. That helps us a lot. Definitely helps us. So thank you
I was
for
going to
asking
say
that
that's a
question.
new line I just unlocked, but then I got track fail. We do have a new checkpoint system, which I could talk about. But I see a lot of people asking, is it free? How do you play it? Is it on PC? So we'll do a quick rundown of how you can play right now. And I'll give you a quick backstory. Try to be fast. We tried to go the traditional route of getting a publisher to help you pay for the game and do all that. But we couldn't find a publisher. They didn't want to support a mountain bike game. So that's why we're using Patreon. We're self-funded. We've got 4 founders of this company that we put in our own savings to make this game happen. And we're trying to do that in conjunction with Patreon so that the community can kind of pitch in some money and also help us improve the development of this game. So for now, between now and when we launch early access on Steam, we'll have a Patreon up, and you can get our development builds typically a week or every other week. We release new builds. We'll be releasing one tomorrow for $5 a month on Patreon. You could, subscribe for a month, get all the builds, and then cancel, and you get to keep the builds that you got there in that month. If you end up spending $50 or more throughout the entire Patreon time the Patreon's live, then you end up getting a free Steam key once the game does release on Steam. So that's how we're rolling now. It's really just so that you guys can get involved. You could give us feedback. You can play early, and we're taking community feedback seriously. We've already got multiple things that we've put in this game that came from the community, your guys' ideas. So we appreciate it, and we know that working together with you closely in the beginning will make this game better. So yeah, if you want to get involved, hop over to Patreon. Links in the bio. $5, and you can start playing this right now.
Something's been off this whole stream. I couldn't quite tell what it was. Just something wasn't quite right. And then Tails just got into the room, and everything seems normal now.
That's what it was.
Before Tails got here, it was just not right. But now he's here, and it's all good. Hey, Kizzy, thank you so much. Followed the host, wish listed, double whammy. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Anybody else feeling like it, it's free to do both those things, so just saying. Finn wants to know, Joe, if we're going to make the game less floaty. What's your take on that? You feel like it's floaty?
I don't feel like it's floaty. And we even asked Cam McCall, pro mountain bike rider who's been playing the game, if he thought it was floaty. And he said his initial impressions were that it wasn't floaty, and that was not something that crossed his mind. I will say that before we released this to the public, we did a lot of testing with gravity settings, because that's kind of how you adjust the floatiness, is with adjusting gravity. And this was kind of the sweet spot. Like, you could make it less floaty in air, but then on the ground it felt weird. So there's kind of always pros and cons with whichever way you push it. And this is kind of what we settled on, what we thought felt the best. And at this point, it's going to stay this way, because if we were to change that now, every single jump and gap and everything would be kind of ruined. Like, you wouldn't be able to clear anything if we made it less floaty. So I don't think it would be changing. If we end up changing it, it probably wouldn't be until we started making another map, and it might only change for that map, which would probably be weird. So I don't feel like it feels floaty. Maybe it's a little floatier than real life, but it's also a video game, so a little extra airtime. It's kind of fun. Have you ever played Lonely Mountains Snow Riders? Yeah, I backed Lonely Mountains Downhill on Kickstarter when they first started, and I do have Snow Riders as well. I love their games. And I met those guys at Reboot in Croatia this year. Nice guys.
Ellis, thanks for answering some questions on the TikTok chat. That's always so helpful. I really appreciate that when you guys know the answers, and it kind of helps us build the community a lot when we're helping other people understand what we're trying to do here. Which we have a question now, which we often get, and I guess it's a good time to answer it. I don't know the name of the TikTok. Sometimes they're like really weird things where there's not actually a username. So whoever looks like a crown, maybe. What is your plan to stick out from other games such as Riders Republic, etc.? We do this one a lot of times every episode, but it's also a very normal question for people who just found us to ask. So Joe, why don't you do the first round of this question right now, and maybe we'll just do it a few times today and try to keep it to that.
Yeah, I would say the main reason, or the main thing I think that will set Cranked apart from the other games is what you're seeing right here: rocks, roots, tech riding. If you go play other games and pay attention to kind of the way the riding is, even games like Descenders, they might look like rocks and roots, and the textures are rocks and roots. I mean, even Mavericks, but the actual ground is still smooth. Like, it looks rough, but it's actually not. So we're trying to make a game that actually does have roughness to it. There are tech sections and rock gardens and things that you can kind of control the bike on and actually kind of ride it how you would in real life. The game is a lot more grippy than some other games, like Descenders is very slippy. This game is more grippy, kind of trying to simulate how much grip I have on my bike in real life. I don't feel like I'm sliding around in real life. you know, the suspension on a downhill bike can really soak up a lot of these bumps and stuff in real life. And, you know, I think that's what sets us apart. Brent Goes Fast, the YouTuber, actually just posted a video last night called Cranked vs. Descenders. So if you want to see it from a player's perspective, I think he said he had 500 hours in Descenders and maybe about 70 hours in Cranked. And he basically summed it up as Cranked is, first of all, he said he loves both games. He loves Descenders, but he said he likes Cranked better because it feels more grippy. And also Descenders has been out, 7 years? I don't know how long they were in production, but let's just say they had a 1 year production. It was probably longer. They've had 8 years working on their game. We've been working on this about 5 months. So give us some more time and we'll get things kind of up to par with other games in the space.
Oh, thanks so much, Steampunk, Stark, and Brun, for sharing the live. I think more people are sharing the live today than I've ever seen. We're up to 133 concurrent on TikTok right now, which is really strong. I wonder if Cordial did share this. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Jay Rippey says an Arcadian janky vibe. I like to call it the crank jank. To a game makes it so much better and different, in my opinion. No, honestly, it's kind of a form of like not taking yourself too seriously in a way, right? When you just kind of like, yeah, okay, there's some janky things in there, but I don't know. To us, man, is it fun? Are we making something that's super fun? That pretty much always wins when it comes to decisions that we make. Are we doing something that makes it more fun? So yeah, a little jank here and there is pretty fun. I agree with you.
Like, how about when I crash, I can still control the bike? See me wiggling the bike there? I think that's kind of funny. Let's do it again right here. Watch.
Yeah, there you go. C-Stu, what's up, C-Stu? Says, I know it's meant to be a mountain biking, but motocross on this map looks like it'd be amazing. I think that all the time, man. I come from motocross. We come from Mad Skills Motocross. I spent my whole life in that sport, so I think about this regularly. I'm with you, man. I could have some influence on one day somehow getting a dirt bike in this game, so I would say never on this topic. It's possible. Also, welcome, C-Stu.
Can you do bar spins or tricks? Not yet. I mean, you can do some tricks, but not that kind of stuff. I mean, you can do flips and spins and scrubs and whips and wheelies and manuals. But we haven't done animated tricks like that yet. That'll come much later. We're kind of dialing in the core mechanics of racing and riding and things of that nature. Got to dial in all that stuff before we can get fancy with other things.
What's up, Jonathan on TikTok? Thank you for hanging out with us. He says, yeah, Descenders is great for the tricks aspect. More of a slope style oriented game, in my opinion. We saw a video last night that our guy Brent Goes Fast did. I don't know if you guys know who we're talking about, but if you search for Descenders, or Cranked versus Descenders, he called it. Brent Goes Fast did a video last night. And it's cool because you can see how much he likes both games. And he's just kind of talking about what he feels is so different about one than the other. And Joe and I were like, well, maybe today, instead of kind of answering that question 8,000 times, we can just say, hey, go check out Brent Goes Fast video, because he does a great job. It's fair. I think he's right, really, about just about everything he said. Joe is kind of in line with how I feel about it too. So Brent, Thank you for that, man. It was good and makes it a little bit easier for us because we can kind of point to an impartial party and say, hey, go check out what that guy said.
See my little transfer
Also, they
line?
did a really good job on that video, Brent. Nice work, man.
If I had to give you any constructive criticism, I would say the Descenders audio was a little too loud and it was hard to hear your voice, but otherwise, killer video. I think it's just because Descenders has always got the like, and it gets so loud, it's hard to hear that over you.
Joe and I are really big on production value over here, man. I mean, we're just like huge production value pros over here on this live stream.
Yeah, right. Barely scraping by trying to figure this out.
Today we were like, let's get on 30 minutes earlier, just to like talk about the things that we need to do and try not to have a little misfire when the live button, but we still had a little misfire when we hit the live button. Also, I had this big plan today of having like a quick question and answer thing that I could copy and paste to answer the repeated questions on TikTok, because we get the same questions so many times it's kind of impossible to answer them all with our voices. But now it won't allow me to paste into my TikTok interface. That whole plan went to hell. It's not gonna. We're gonna do our best anyway. Cordial put in a story. Thank you, Tom, for the heads up about that. That probably is what's giving us a hand here. Appreciate that.
Nice.
Ben Harvey wants to know, Joe, if there's a point system for tricks. We don't really, not yet, because we haven't really thought of tricks as anything more than a byproduct of our physics at this point. But Joe, I'm gonna let you take that question because I know you have dreams for the long-term evolution of tricks in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, there's no point system or anything yet. I think someday there would be. Like, I think this game is shaping up to be maybe the first game that would have a really sick speed and style mode. Unless there's another game out there that has it that I just don't know about. But I think it'd be cool to have like speed and style course 1v1 next to each other like they do in real life. And, you know, you get points for your tricks, you get a time, and then the amount of points you get kind of help out with your time. I think that'd be sick.
Nice. Hey, I want to try this real quick. MD1, isn't this just a ripoff of Defenders? No,
Descenders.
It's not. And I would suggest you go to YouTube and search Brent Goes Fast, Cranked versus Descenders. And let somebody who doesn't work for us answer this question. What do you think, Joe? How'd that go?
Yeah, done.
Thanks for the question and for showing up and hanging out with us, though. We're stoked to have you here, but I think you'll get a better answer from Brent Goes Fast on YouTube. If anybody wants to know how we're different than not just Descenders, but really any mountain bike game, check out that video. They do a good job of it. Victor, how can you get the Frameworks bike? If you subscribe to our Patreon, you're going to get it tomorrow. The update with this Frameworks bike comes out tomorrow. So everybody who supports us will get it. Cheers to you too, MD1. JD wants to know, Joe, what do you think? And JD, thanks for hanging out, man. I see you've been here for a while. I appreciate that, dude. Assuming dude. And I only say that because in our Mad Skills days, 98% of our players were male and 2% were female. It's an unfortunate thing. We never could figure out how to solve that. Maybe we will do better on this game. We're going to try. But how can you get the, what was the question? I don't even remember. I started talking and I went away. Dave Heatbike says it's a fake Descenders. It isn't. Invite you also to watch Brent Goes Fast video on YouTube, and I think you'll see that it is definitely not a copy of Descenders or any other game. If you care enough, check it out, please.
Tyler said forks need compressing. Yeah, man, this bike was literally added to the game yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Zach is still working on getting the suspension moving and all the components and stuff, so got a lot of work to do on it for sure. But we're trying to develop this game in the open, and that means we release stuff to you guys basically as quickly as we're putting it in the game. We're not going to wait, we're not going to wait another month before we get everything perfect to give it to you. We're just going to give it to you now, how it is, jank and all. You guys can get in there, give us feedback early, and that way we can kind of fix things up early as we go.
One of the things we have to deal with because we made the decision to do it this way, it's pretty common. People will pop in and see it on the screen for a couple seconds and say, it looks like another game, or something looks bad, and I guess it's just because people don't necessarily know where we are in the process. That's still a prototype. We've only added one piece of real art to the game so far, so it's really early, guys.
And for anyone saying this is just a rip off of Descenders, I'll challenge you. Can you do what I just did in Descenders? Play a race and then, go to a global leaderboard, see where you stand on a global leaderboard. Probably not.
It also doesn't feel anything whatsoever like it. So, T, is the game going to be like Descenders or similar? It just doesn't feel like it. It feels you're playing a very different game than any mountain bike game that exists. We're going to have a free demo before too long, and it'll be a lot easier at that point for us to just say, go play it, see for yourself. If you think it sucks, then to move on down the road. But so far, we just haven't seen that from people who actually play the game. It's usually people who just kind of pop in and watch it for 30 seconds or so who are kind of feeling rough about it so far. But I guess maybe as we scale up, more people will dislike it because you can't please everybody. You can't make something everybody likes. It's not possible.
There's also a decent amount of hardcore Descenders players who have played Cranked and have given us really good feedback and say they really enjoy the game and it doesn't feel like Descenders. I mean, it's got similarities, especially with the controls and such, and it's a mountain biking game. But people like Cordial, even Antgrass, Brent Goes Fast. Yeah, bunch of people who've played a bunch of Descenders have played this, and it's just a different flavor of mountain biking.
Makai wants to know if any Easter eggs made it into this build that's coming out tomorrow, Joe.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know where they were because you guys didn't tell me, and I'm supposed to go find them. And I tried searching yesterday off stream and couldn't find them, but maybe we'll do it later. But I feel like it's kind of boring for people to watch me flying around with the drone aimlessly looking for Easter eggs that I don't know where they are. But if you want later, we could do
it. Tyler wants to know, are they SRAM brakes? I come from Moto, and I know lots of mountain bike things that I don't know. So I learn on a daily basis here about the sport of mountain biking. Joe's the expert on mountain biking, not me. So what's a SRAM brake? Tell me.
It's just a brand. There's SRAM and Shimano.
Okay.
are the two big brands. We're not officially saying we're using any branded brakes because we haven't partnered with those brands. The only thing official is that this is the Frameworks bike. We did partner with Frameworks. And this is like the same bike Ace ever met rides. The other components, use your imagination what you think they are. But yeah, they're probably what you think they are.
How much is it going to cost them release? We don't know. We're too far out, and we don't really want to do any guessing or prognosticating in this effort. We're not sure. We're really dedicated to charging a very fair price. You know, we want people to play our game and think that's worth it. I think that happens now on Patreon. You know, generally speaking, people, because our resubscription rate on Patreon is so high, people seem to be wanting to stick with us. So it seems to me like most people feel like what we're offering is fair, and that's super important to us. So it'll always be that way. It's not going to be free. It'll always be a paid game, but it's going to be fair, and we're going to give good value for the money. This literally looks like every game ever. Yeah, thanks, man. It's a prototype. I would argue, I would challenge you to show me another game that's not even 6 months into development that's as good as this game. If you could point that out to me, I want to play it. So that's kind of what I'll say is, please, you know, if you're still here in the chat, a bunch of dots. Tell me another game that's been doing you know, being built for 6 months that's really, really fun and playable at this point, and I'm gonna go play it immediately, basically.
Moosey asked if we ride in real life. I ride in real life, Moosey. I've been riding bikes, I don't know, maybe I was 10 when I got my first BMX bike. And I've been riding BMX for a long time, and then I switched to mountain biking maybe 15, 16 something years ago. So yeah, that's a big reason why we made this
motorcycles. Game. I'm a motorcycle guy. I've been riding motorcycles for, 25, 27 years.
Nice. Tails
but
said
soon
the bike.
I'm going to be riding mountain bikes in New Mexico with you, Joe. Very soon. I can't wait.
Yeah. Tails said the bike has too much orange. Yeah, we know. Maggie X already fixed it, but it's not in the game yet. So this is kind of a more updated picture. You could see, the rear shock there is not orange. It actually looks appropriate. But she's still working on it. And the updated version is hopefully what's going to be going in the game tomorrow.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of our typical is this Descenders comments. It's not. We encourage you all to and just search for Brent Goes Fast. Cranked versus Descenders. He lays it all out. You can kind of he plays them side by side. You can see the difference. He talks about it in depth. He doesn't work for us. Doesn't have any. He's just an independent player who loves both games. So it's a good opportunity for people who are into Descenders but want to know kind of what we're doing different, which is it's quite different. I encourage you to go check out Brent Goes Fast video. I'm gonna say that all day today, Joe. That's gonna be my answer, man. Cool, but, Harry. Thank you, dude. Looks sick. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, roll through some questions, Brian. Let's answer a bunch.
All right, let's do it. Cool. Yeah, we're moving, man. It's a good day on TikTok. So stoked to have you guys hanging out with us today. It's great. I know that Cordial helped us out here a lot by sharing on his story, so appreciate that, Cordial. Thank you very much if you're still here. Yan says, am I the only person who hears an echo? Let us know, folks. Are we echoing? I can't hear it, but if we have a sound problem, I have not gotten any DMs letting me know that. So let us know, folks, if we have a sound issue. We can try to sort it out. Everybody Supernova. No, we won't have procedurally generated tracks in this game. We have only 4 members on our paid staff right now. One of them is a track builder, Antgrass. We come from the Mad Skills games, and we never did procedurally generated tracks there either. So it's just not really our thing. We want to handcraft the most epic tracks we can, because I think besides physics, awesome tracks is the key to the game. So no procedurally generated, I think, ever.
I'm not a big fan of procedurally generated, just because I feel like maybe it'd be better now with the use of AI and stuff, but the games I've played with procedurally generated action sports stuff, the flow isn't there. Just the satisfying, it just doesn't satisfy me the same way as like a hand built track. So we're gonna stick with handmade, baby.
Jude prefers Matrix. Yeah, my girlfriend's a huge Keanu Reeves fan, and she's talking about Matrix, all these things. She's got Keanu Reeves pillows. She's got Keanu Reeves everything hanging up around this house. It's enough to give a dude a complex, because what dude can possibly put himself up against the great Keanu Reeves? So yeah, Matrix. She's a huge Matrix fan, and I get that a lot.
Say hello. Oh wait, no.
Tricks. Hey James, tricks. Yeah. Right now, the only tricks in the game are physics based. That's kind of our jam. Is we're not into animated tricks very much. So basically, the physics allow you to hit 360s, flip, front, back flip, whips. All that stuff is physics based. So you can have your own style. The way you ride in this game establishes the way you whip and flip, etc., just like it does in real life. One day maybe we'll have tricks that require some form of animation. If that happens, we intend to do it right. We have an idea how to do that right, actually. We intend to if we can. So, DTNB says there is a big echo. I think the older man, that's me. Headphones are getting picked up by the mic. That could be the case. Let me see if this helps. Thank you for that. Let me know if that helps at all. Appreciate that. I don't mind being called the older man. I will tell you this, and this is a little embarrassing, but I'm going to say it. Joe and I went to a nitro cross race at where was that? California, Glen Helen.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. Last time I saw Ken Block, man. And rest in peace. And some kid came up to us, he was pumped about this rally game we were making, and he asked if I was Joe's dad. That little son of a bitch. Remember that, Joe? Yeah, you thought that shit was funny, didn't you?
It's pretty
I
funny.
didn't think it was so funny. My kids.
I would rather you be my dad than me have my dad. I would say that.
Well.
You're a way cooler dad.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Speaking of which, how about if I hop in? How about if I break a little bit of news here? It's not massive news, but I don't know. To Julian, it is. My son Julian, who is a senior at West Virginia University here in Morgantown, West Virginia, also a big gamer and a very smart, good, kind kid, has volunteered to be the official Cranked intern moving forward for his senior year. So Julian's going to be. We invited him into our session syndicate Discord, and he's going to be hanging out when Joe does his solo lives. Anytime his class is allowed, Julian's going to help us with all kinds of stuff. He's doing some research for us and just generally finding the opportunity to do something cool and learn and help us out. So Julian, son, I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'm very happy to have you hanging out with us even more.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Julian's cool.
Very cool. Great kid. 130 viewers on TikTok right now. Humming over there. All right, guys, I'm going to try to roll down through. Go ahead, Joe.
Real quick, I'll just say if you're new here, right now I'm just doing some races. We do have global leaderboards in this game. Oh, man, we're trying to do like World Cup style racing. So you got to go through the gates. We've got split times. We've got full-on leaderboards. You could pick who you're racing against. Right now I'm racing against my own time. I'm 5th on the leaderboards. Tails has beat me by, how many seconds here? Almost 9 seconds. So I got work to do, but that's what we're doing while Brian runs down some questions.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start with my guy Brutta here, who's like West Virginia in the house. Yeah, man. Born and raised in West Virginia. I've been here. I left for Pittsburgh for a few years, but I moved back in August, and I love this state. It's great. Snowshoe, home of Snowshoe. If y'all know that trail, I'm sure you do. That track. Heading up to Cheat Mountain in West Virginia tonight to do some fly fishing this weekend, which I'm very excited about. See some family and friends. It's gonna be cool, man. West Virginia is a great place, people. It's beautiful here. If you've never been. Thomas, thank you for saying the game looks sick. Appreciate it, man. Will the bikes be dismountable, or will player model be static to the bike, Joe? How about you take that one, man?
As of right now, we don't have plans for you to get off the bike. I want to have that in the future, but we're a small indie team, and we have to keep the scope as low as possible, just like get the game out. So, first thing to do is like get the game out and what we think is the most important items, and then we'll see how many people are playing and how much money we got, and then I would love to add more stuff. Like we do have a drone now, but I want to add like a full-on FPV drone. There's a bunch of things we want, so it just kind of depends. We got to take it one thing at a time.
Yeah. Hey, Rolled Blunt. It's not a copy of Descenders. I'll just kind of say this every now and then. I encourage you to go to YouTube and search for Brent Goes Fast, Cranked versus Descenders. He's just, I've never met him before. He plays both games. He loves both games. Talks about why he likes them. It's a great opportunity to see that what we're doing is different than what anybody's done when it comes to mountain bike games before. This is not the same as any other game. It doesn't feel anything like any game that exists. That's for sure. And Shadow wants to know if you can carve berms. That's good timing for that question.
Yeah, you can carve them.
You can carve berms.
A lot of people are asking where they can get this, and is this a new build? So We're self-funding this game. We're a small indie team. We were founded by four of us. We put in our own savings to make this thing happen, and we also want your guys' help through Patreon. So if you join the Patreon for $5 a month, you can get access to all the builds we release during the month that you're subscribed, or however long you stay subscribed. And all that money is going right back into production to help finish this game and make it even better. And we also want your feedback. So we've got Discord that we're very active in. You could join there. We've got a lot of feedback channels, and you can ask the community members already that we're very serious about taking your feedback, and we actually listen, and we incorporate a lot of your items into the game. So we're trying to make this game out in the open together with you guys. So it's kind of a community-made game, a team effort here, because I believe when a bunch of passionate people come together, it'll only make the game better. So love to get a lot of passionate mountain bikers and people who are just passionate about mountain biking. You don't necessarily need to be a rider to get involved and help us make this thing as best as it can possibly be. Publishers all turned us down. They said they didn't want to fund the game, so that's why we're doing it kind of on our own dime and trying to figure out a way to make it happen. So that's the story. Get it on Patreon now, and we'll be on Steam in a year and a half, something like that.
Hey Jackson, thanks for the question. What is the plus time? I think you're asking me what does it mean, if I'm not mistaken. You can see Joe going through the splits. When he goes through the orange splits, it sets a time and it tells him where he is compared to his best time. If he's racing against his own best time, it tells him where he is compared to when the last time he did an attempt and went through that split. So it basically lets him know if he's up or back from his own time. Some people have wanted us to include ghosts like we would have done in Mad Skills Motocross, and you can kind of actually race against it. But in motocross, you're used to racing right against another person, so it made more sense in that. In mountain biking, it works this way. And there's a sense of suspense, wondering as you're riding if you're up on your time or if you're down, where it is. So we probably won't do ghosts in race mode just because we like that suspense and it's realistic, and so that's what it means. It's really fun when you're playing and you hit a split and you see that you're up. Kind of like Mad Skills, if you guys know that game, you have a tendency to get really nervous the farther you get into a burner, especially if you've been sessioning it for like 2 hours. Same feeling in this game. So yeah, cool.
I did see a question, is this a new bike? Yes, this is the new bike. We partner with Frameworks, if you guys know who they are.
Yeah.
This is the new Frameworks bike. It's a work in progress. There's some issues with it, but we're fixing those up. Like suspension's not moving yet. So stay on the lookout in the next, few weeks, and this thing will be getting better. See, I tried to do a fancy little kind of dip 3 off of that thing in the middle of a race, and it didn't go so well. I'm not Ace of Vermet. I can't be throwing backflips in qualifying runs. You know what I mean?
Chef Kobe, what's up, man? Over on TikTok, wanting to know if we are hiring any programmers. Honestly, I wish. It's incredible what Zach is capable of doing on his own, but I wish he had a sidekick to kind of work with as well. But unfortunately, as it is right now, the budget does not allow it. We're self-funded. We kind of all put our own money into this thing. After publishers said no to us repeatedly, we didn't agree with them. We think we can do this. So we just kind of figured it out on our own. But that means bootstrapping, man. That means us like being smart and keeping things small and focusing on one thing at a time. But if you are interested in what we do and you're a programmer, I'd love for you to hang out on Discord. And, when we are ready to hire people down the line, we're probably going to start in-house. We're going to be paying attention to the people we know and have been working with and have come to trust and who've come to trust us. So, not yet, Chef, but we'd love to have you over on the Discord side of things and get to know you a little bit. Find out what you're working on, etc.
Yo, Brian, one thing we need to remember when we're doing this, because what Brian and I realized this week is that we can make a lot of good content from the live stream after the live stream is over. We can cut it up. But Brian, I think we need to remember, shout out the person, re-ask the question, then answer the question, because it makes for better shorts later.
Shout out the person, answer the question. You got it. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. We talked a lot about marketing this week. I've done a lot of marketing in my life. I think marketing can be done well. Marketing can be done poorly. We have no marketing budget, so we're going to have to, at least at this point we don't. So we're going to have to figure it out and how to do this. Obviously, social media is going to be a big thing, but yeah, we just kind of were like, let me tell a story about how this first conversation happened, Joe. When you were in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It was early. It was maybe the first time you were there and the first time I was playing Crank, that early prototype. And we were just riffing, man. We were hanging out. I'm sure we were drinking beers and just talking about things. And you were kind of like in a flow state, man. You just kept saying things over and over again. And I was like, bottle that. How do we bottle that? How do we like bottle what you just said? This is our marketing. It's just talking the truth, talking about how you feel. You have so much passion. what he does. And then we just kind of, this week, we were just like, we just need to do more long form stuff, more live streams, and record it all. And then use that as our content, because it's not planned. It's not stuff we're thinking about. We're just doing it. We also kind of came to that same conclusion when it comes to meetings that we're just kind of turning the video camera on and we're doing this thing in public anyway. There's nothing I've ever heard in any meeting we've ever in front of everybody listening to this right now. It never happens. So we just kind of record everything now, and we're going to try to make good content out of that. Been crushing Joe a little bit to try to do something unique every single day, and you do these 3-minute videos, and most people don't get very far into it, so we're trying to be a little smarter about that. So I don't know if y'all have any thoughts on that approach, where we just kind of do more long form stuff and then cut it down into sensible things when we find good pieces in there. Let us know if you have some advice on that. We're both rookies at this. At least in 2025 we are. I used to build big social channels, but it's a different world now. Because I'm an old fella, remember?
We're also live on YouTube, so I kind of want to throw, we'll do a front flip here for you guys, but I kind of want to throw some questions over to YouTube. Because YouTube is where some of our core audience hangs out. So if you guys got questions for us, anything you guys want us to go into detail today or whatever, ask away, and I'd like to hit some topics from the YouTube viewers.
Aaron, thank you. You're so sweet always. Very nice.
This is a good run. Let's see if I can finish this up.
It's easy, evergreen stuff. That's what the conclusion we came to, Makai. Not like we think this is any big insight, but I guess to us it was. Joe did a live stream the other night. Let's talk about this, Joe. Joe did a live stream the other night on TikTok only, just a solo thing. I was doing some other work, but I was kind of lurking in the sidelines. And it was just me. I felt like I was watching a masterclass in creating content, because he just kept saying things and doing things. I was like, that's legitimate, honest content. That's honest content. We spent the next day together going through all that footage and cutting it up into usable pieces. What do we get, Joe? It was a 3-hour stream, and we ended up cutting 94
something like
different pieces of content.
Yeah, it was
that
like 90
allows us to go
different.
through and see what we want to keep, what we don't, etc. It's the way to go, Makai. Agree with you, man.
All right, we got a couple questions from YouTube. Tails asked, what's your son Julian going to do in the company during the internship? Brian, take it away.
I can answer that. He's going to help when he's not in class. He's going to help on the live. So when Joe was doing his solo live the other day, which he's going to be doing more of, it's tough to be by yourself and trying to focus on the chat and trying to focus on playing. And if our audience grows, it's going to get even more difficult. So Julian's going to hang out when he can in the lives. I think he's going to have I think we're going to get him his own username and everything on TikTok anyway, so he can respond with some degree of, showing that he's actually an official part of the whole thing that we're doing. And then he's also going to he's really good at researching. He's helping us understand sort of social media from, he's 21, so he's helping us understand social media from his point of view. I'm 53, and Joe, I think, is 15 years younger than I am. So we're a little bit, I've always associated well with young people because I have kids, but it's nice having his perspective in this way. And he's just got good judgment. He's a very smart kid. He's going to help us with probably responding to some comments on social. If we start ramping up, he'll help with that. And he just is really good judgment and good idea. I think he comes over to my place often on Fridays, Julian does, and we just work. I could be working on something that doesn't really have anything to do with Cranked. But he comes over and I'm just trying to teach him, help him understand kind of what the world's like right now. Going to move into working for the first time, and the world's changing so drastically. I'm trying to help him prepare for that. So,
yo, Chris,
we have a really great relationship, Julian.
Can you not spam the chat? And if you do, one more time, you will be kicked. Thank you.
Who is it?
Chris Dane.
What is it? And where's that?
Hey, he's paying $5,000 to anyone who says faith. It's trash. So please don't send any more spam.
Oh yeah, don't do that, Chris. Come on, man. All right. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff Julian's going to do, and we're just going to have him in meetings. He's going to get the opportunity to give feedback on everything, just like everybody else does. He's just going to be in my office a decent amount because Julian lives maybe 10 minutes from me, Morgantown. So, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
I'm on a run here. I see people asking what game is this? Is it on console? When does it come out? I'll do a real quick rundown. We're just getting started with development. We're about 5 months in. From now until when we hit early access on Steam, probably a year from now, we're going to be using Patreon. So if you want to play the game now, today, immediately, you can join Patreon for $5 a month. And we release builds. Oh, I missed the gate. We release builds multiple times a month. Helps us support development because we're self-funded team, small indie team. It's only PC, Mac, and Linux right now on our Patreon. After the PC version's done and it's out on Steam, then we'll bring it to consoles. We don't know the full price yet, but if you do end up spending $50 through Patreon over time, you'll get a free Steam code when the game comes out. And that's kind of the gist. So check out patreon.com/cranked, and you can find it and join and get playing right now.
What's up, Trout N over on YouTube? You do mountain biking and fly fishing. I love fly fishing. I don't get to do it as often as I want. I'm no pro at it, but I catch fish when I fish, and I'm out in nature, and it's gorgeous and fun. And there are a bunch of fish in the stream I'm going to this weekend, so I'm pumped about it. And hopefully it doesn't rain the whole time I'm there. That's the hope. Makai wants to know how the Cranked collab portal is going. If you all don't know, Cranked collab is a thing we do where sporadically we partner with other brands or artists or whatever. The first one we partnered with a bike shop called Rad Dog Bikes out of El Paso. The second collab was with Space Mesa, which is Cam McCall and Dusty Weigel's band, kind of like a mountain biking super group of a band, I call them. And we just kind of do these in-game t-shirts that you can reserve just by hanging out with us on this live stream. They're available for 72 hours only, then the window closes, so there's scarcity involved in it. It's just a cool way for our sort of founding players to get something that'll always show they were here from the beginning. We're going to keep that going, and I am creating a portal that kind of allows us to manage it. The first couple weeks I just piloted the program with like Google Forms and stuff. It worked fine, but this portal is going to be much better. It's going really well, Makai. It's working. Tails helped me test it a little bit. Tails, I've made some more progress since I last shared it with you. Yeah, it's working. I just have a couple more things to iron out. The portal will be up and running by the third collab, for sure.
And Blair on TikTok asked if this is the new bike. Yeah, this is the new Frameworks bike, partnered with Frameworks. It's still got some bugs, and we're fixing it up, but we're hoping to drop a new build tomorrow for Patreon members that includes the bike, the new drone, the new checkpoint system, a bunch of bug fixes, and some new trails.
Tails, still young at heart. I am young at heart, man. I am. I've always dressed like a teenage skateboarder because I come from Moto, and that's how we all dress in Moto. I've always listened to great music, and I don't think I seem like I think I seem like a young 53. Don't you, Joe?
Dang it. Yeah, for sure. I hit the brakes there, which really slowed me down. But I think we're still going to have a good run here, guys.
Overlay is off, somebody's saying. What are we?
Yeah, it's back on. It's back on.
Okay, you got it. Cool.
But thanks for that reminder,
Cam
Jax.
was super cool, Bird Show. Cam McCall was on the stream last week. Super cool dude, man. I love that guy. He's awesome.
Yo, Sebastian says the bike looks great. Thank you. There's a new time. Let me change the overlay that I'll forget to change back. Where are we at? We went from 15th to 12th. I want to get on the first page on every trail. We're on the first page on every one except Prancer. So we're going to keep rolling. All right, let's do this. This is what you can do in the game. If you don't know, you can click on someone's name, turns yellow, now you're racing against them. So I need to beat this time to get on the first page. So let's do that. Let's change the overlay. See? My producer brain is remembering things. Our game will not be free, asks Tigga Burger on TikTok. I think that's how you pronounce your name, Tigga Brush. And it won't be free. It'll be a paid game. Right now you can get it on Patreon for $5, but we'll be on Steam eventually and then consoles after that. Unsure on final price. Too early to tell.
Morton on TikTok, I'm kind of guess you didn't hang out for very long based on your comment. He says that the graphics really this bad. Yeah, I mean it's all placeholder stuff. It's a prototype, not even 6 months in, so we haven't done the graphics yet. We've just been focusing on gameplay and the trail design. And the first graphic that's real is the bike. So when you look at the bike, maybe Joe will show when he's not throwing a burner down. He'll show take the drone out and show another 360 view of the Frameworks bike. You'll get a better idea what we're going for. Give us a little time, it won't look anything like this, or like any other games either, for that matter. Will our game be free? We are going to have a free demo. Kind of decided definitively that we're going to do that. We think we have an idea. We're not positive yet, but we think we know what we're going to do with the demo. But yeah, in the coming months, we'll release a demo and you can try it. But no, the final game's not going to be a free-to-play game. We've been doing free-to-play games on mobile for a long time, and Joe and I are just kind of both tired of it. So we're going to make a game where we just decide what's fun, and then we charge a fair price for it, what our approach is. We're hoping enough people are into that it works.
If you guys know about
Thanks for the follow, guys.
If you guys know about the Mad Skills games, Mad Skills Motocross, Mad Skills BMX, those kind of games, that's where Brian and I come from. and the rest of the team actually. So
Nolan's got a great. Hey Tony, low graphics descenders. We're 6 months in. We haven't even touched graphics. I encourage you guys who pop in here and spend like a couple seconds and then say that we look like another game. I get it, but I also encourage you to go to YouTube and just search for Brent Goes Fast, Cranked versus Descenders. I mean, he plays them both side by side. He talks about how they're different, why they're different, gives you his take on them. He likes both games a lot. So, if you care, check it out. If not, don't. Maybe you'll see another thing a few months down the line that gives you a better idea going forward, and you'll see that we're not, anything like that. So George wants to know, says, don't change the graphics. Let's talk about graphics a little bit, Joe. Let's talk about because
let me change the
talk
map
about
first.
what you visualize and what Maggie visualizes. And we're not.
Yeah.
I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah. So I switched to the other map. So the way this kind of story goes is, we set out to make a prototype in 6 weeks. We had to find the fun in 6 weeks. If we couldn't find the fun in 6 weeks, the whole game was canceled. We managed to find the fun in 6 weeks, and then we created this prototype map and this whole game as a prototype to go pitch to publishers. So this map, granted, Maggie only had about 2 weeks. Our artist Maggie only had about 2 weeks on here to decorate it, but this map shows a little bit better of what we're going for. Still very prototypey, work in progress, but you could see it's a little more kind of Firewatch-esque, kind of a cozy, colorful, artsy vibe. But she wants to also try what she's calling a painterly style, which will be different than this, and she's going to try that soon. And then we'll compare the two and kind of figure out which direction we want to take it. But either way, one of our goals for this game is to be as accessible as possible, and that also doesn't just mean the gameplay, easy to pick up, hard to master, but also what kind of computer or console it takes to run the thing. So we're trying to make it work on, the biggest potatoes in the universe as possible, and part of that is thinking about the art style. So if we went hyper realistic graphics like Mavericks or something, first of all, our team's probably too small to pull that off, and it takes a lot more performance on computers, less people can play. So we kind of like the cozy, artsy, indie vibe, and trying to make it more accessible for people to play. And this is just kind of the style I like, to be honest with you. So,
and also not getting crazy hyper realistic should help us when it comes to what computers can play this game. We're trying to make an accessible game here, and part of that is not having to have a quantum computer to play the game. So right now, you can play the prototype. I was playing it on a MacBook Pro. I have a PC now. Tails, it's kicking, and it's better. But my MacBook's good though, and so we want this game to be playable by just about everybody, and keeping the graphics kind of cozy and chill instead of getting super hyper realistic makes that a little bit easier to do.
So this is the new bike. We just put it in the game yesterday, so lots of bugs. Maggie's working on fixing the bugs, like the rear shock is orange. That color's already changed, which you could see in this picture. So she's got to, we got to put in the new version. The rider placement's off. She's still working on a new rider model. This is a placeholder one, so obviously the rider's off. We're gonna fix that. There's other things missing on the bike that are getting fixed, but still looks way better than if you guys know what we had before the placeholder bike. It was way worse. So this is so sick to see the Frameworks bike in here. Look, you can see the Frameworks logo on the head tube right there. Yeah, this thing is money.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Let's roll. Let me roll some Fika break runs here.
Cool. Cooper McCabe says, I don't care what other people are saying. What I've played of the game honestly feels so good. Well, first of all, most people are stoked about it. It's just every now and then somebody pops in and feels like it looks too much like Descenders or something, so it's no big deal. And also, we only don't really get that from people who actually play it. It's usually just people who pop in who say that. So it's all good. But appreciate your support, and I'm glad that you like it. Random Kid, thank you. Says it looks like a really good game with it still getting developed. Appreciate that, Kid.
Is that his username, Random Kid?
Yeah, so I can call him Kid.
Nice, dude. I like it.
Bacon, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it very much. And Astro, appreciate the follow. And Kareem and Maverick. T-Dot, lots of people following us. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, big time. We're kind of popping off a little bit today. We got a nice crew on the YouTube side of things. We got a really nice crew on the TikTok side of things today. Y'all showed up today. Thank you. Is my mic better? You guys still hear me echoing, by the way? Sorry if somebody already told me that and I missed it, but let me know if you're getting an echo.
I said it was gone back when we...
Okay, good. Thank you.
I turned down your audio on my headphones too, in case it was like coming through my microphone.
Okay.
But
Great. Justin wants to know, is there third person? Justin on TikTok, hey, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, Joe blew my mind today when he told me that Zach actually has third person working. I had no idea. We expect it to be a really big challenge, but it sounds like the initial implementation of third person has gone quite well, which kind of echoes, generally speaking, everything Zach's done now. He just keeps doing great work, frankly. So
yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Joe saw it on Joe got a quick look at it today, but we didn't have anything to show. Like right when we were getting ready, I asked if we had anything we could show, but he didn't have anything. So I'm sure maybe for next week we could probably show what we have of third person, Joe, right?
yeah, maybe. I don't know if it'll be ready next week, but as soon as we feel like it's ready, we'll show. I want to run through some questions here.
Okay, cool.
Sebastian, I really should go to sleep, but it's too much fun watching Joe play. Thanks, dude. Where are the questions I wanted to go over?
While you're looking, I'll thank Oakley and Matthew for the follows. Thank you guys so much.
Can you do manuals? Yes, I'll do a manual for you right here in a second. What makes this game special? Let's talk about that. So yeah, you can do manuals.
All right.
You can. This is a wheelie because I'm pedaling, but pedaling backwards. I think. Is he pedaling backwards, which is hilarious. Yeah, you can do manuals. You can do wheelies. What makes this game special? I think it's the physics. I think as I played other mountain bike games, I never kind of found a mountain bike game that did tech well, and most of the mountain bike games out there, in my opinion, it's a lot of like flat tracks, open highways, kind of big jumps, smooth terrain. It's hard to find a good game that really captured what riding through a forest with rocks and roots and tech and like a proper downhill course feels like. So we wanted to create a game that captured all kind of those elements and how it feels to mountain bike, the flow of kind of pumping, jumping, throwing the bike around, letting the bike move underneath you over rocks and roots, and kind of bouncing around on that kind of stuff like you do in real life, but you still have control and grip, and it responds. And we also wanted to focus on racing. There's really, other than Lonely Mountains Downhill, which is obviously a totally different vibe, there's not really a great racing mountain bike game out there. That kind of mimics UCI Downhill World Cup style racing. So we wanted to do that as well. And we're going to have an open mountain environment with a lot of exploration elements and Easter eggs and fun things. And we didn't think that there was a game that kind of put all of those things into one package. There isn't. I mean, it's a fact. So that's what we're setting out to do, is make
land
a good
in a
competitive...
manual, Joe.
Yeah, right here.
Jump and land in a manual when you can.
Ooh. Yeah, that was going to be bad. Here. We do right here.
That was for you, Alec. Hey, Fred. Yeah, it'll be on console eventually. That's a plan. We're starting with PC, and right now it's on PC Mac. And I'm going to just kind of say something that Captain Jack, our guy Captain Jax, who's been playing with us from the very beginning, said over on the YouTube. He said, fun fact, currently the game is light enough to run on a 2-year-old Android flagship phone with a Windows emulator thingy, even with a controller. I don't know I don't know a whole lot about what you just said, but it sounds like a potato. So that's good.
Linus WND09 on TikTok says, how do you play it before release? Good question. So we actually have a Patreon up, and you can join for $5 and you can play it right now. So head over to our Patreon, or just go to Patreon and search for Cranked. And if you pledge at the $5 tier or higher, you will get the latest build, which is not quite this build. It was a build we released 2 weeks ago, but the build I'm playing right now will go out to you guys tomorrow.
What can we expect in that build, Joe? What all we're going to release to everybody tomorrow?
Yeah, so the main thing is the new bike. Our old placeholder bike, if you're new, looked horrible. I kind of wish I still had it in the game and I could just show you how bad it looked, but it's a good thing we don't. This is still work in progress, the Frameworks bike, but the new bike is the big thing. The drone that I'm flying is another big thing. So now you can fly around the map. You can use it to place markers, go find Easter eggs, find new trails, whatever. That's another new thing. We have a new checkpoint system. So now if I go into race mode, we've always had the yellow markers. You have to stay within the yellow markers or you'll fail the track, just like in real life. Obviously, they're programmer art right now and they're huge and look silly, but we'll fix that later. But now we also have these orange markers. So if you see orange markers, when you go through those, that's a timing gate, and that's when you'll see your split times. But they actually also act as a checkpoint. So see here, I go through those. Now if I was to restart, it actually restarts me at that checkpoint. So before, it would restart you at the very top of the trail, and you'd always kind of have to restart from the very top of the trail. So now you don't have to, and you can restart at different checkpoints along the route. So that's another big update. And then a ton of bug fixes, some stuff in the settings. The whole screen was redone. Bunch of little quality of life things here and there. But that's going to be the update that drops tomorrow. One of our biggest updates yet, honestly.
Jared on Nuke Proof, thank you so much for the follow. You want to know if the suspension physics work? Joe, I'm going to let you take that one too.
This bike was literally added to the game yesterday, so Zach has not had time to animate the suspension, but that is what's next on his agenda. So he will be, that's why he was working on third person today. He got third person working, so that way he could start working on animating the suspension, so that he can see the suspension while he's working on it and playing it. Yeah, so that's what's next in store. So hopefully in the next month or less, probably, I would say, he will have the suspension working and moving, and hopefully third person and all those things. So a lot of the stuff you guys have been asking for since we first announced this game is coming soon. And then once he's done with all that and the third person and all that, then he's going to move on to multiplayer, and then you guys can get in here with your buddies, and then I think it's really going to take things to the next level. So a lot of stuff coming up the next couple months.
User 21 and a bunch of other numbers after that says, will it be on Steam? Thanks for asking the question. It will be on Steam. Right now, it's wish listable on Steam. So I would ask if anybody's here hanging with us and you haven't wish listed up. It helps us a lot. Please do so if you're so inclined. Thanks for the question. And we'll have a free demo, which I think is likely going to be on Steam as well. We don't have a release date of that yet, but I expect it. I expect a lot more info about the demo to come out in the coming months. And if you spend $5, you can get the game right now by supporting us on Patreon. If you're on TikTok or YouTube, you should be able to look in either the link in bio or the description of this video and get the link to our Patreon. And from there, if you support us with a $5 a month or better tier, you get the game, and you get every game that we release, every build that we release during your month-long subscription, and you keep those. So even if you only subscribe for 1 month and drop $5, you'll get probably 3 builds anyway, I'm guessing. And we tend to make a lot of progress from build to build because Zach is a superstar, and Maggie is too.
Yeah.
Joe is too, and Antgrass is too. So yeah, and check it out if you feel like it, or we'll have a free demo before too long. You can check it out that way too if you want. Probably in, I don't know, maybe December, something like that, Joe.
Yeah, Tails is saying I'm playing without inputs and I'm a cheater. Yeah, so what I set up today for the first time, we're trying to improve the stream a little bit every week, and this week's improvement was that I recorded a run before the stream, and I made a scene that I can hit and it'll loop, and that way I can read chat, because I don't want to read chat and the bike just sits there, because then people who come in on TikTok, our average viewer for a non-follower on TikTok is 20 seconds. So if I'm just sitting there doing nothing, they're not going to even stay for 20 seconds. So pre-recorded it, that way I can read chat every now and then, because I know you guys get annoyed when you're like, are you even reading chat? We want to read chat, we're here for you guys.
Yeah.
So I set this up so I can kind of every now and then play this replay, read chat, and answer questions.
Somebody earlier asked me what the most annoying sort of question that we get all the time is, and I'm not going to say that at the end of a live, if we've answered different than us and between us and Descenders 50 times, that it doesn't, eventually it's just kind of okay, it's a little. Well, it gets a little old, I suppose, but mostly it's better than nobody asking us anything. I mean, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow and let more people know about us, and people are going to ask us questions because they don't know who we are yet. They're just coming in and seeing us for the first time. So it's just that's something that Joe and I need to be, figure out how we do it, how we're going to do it, and what's right for us as far as how often we answer these questions, etc. Here we have one. I'm going to let you take this one, Joe.
Yep.
It's this versus Mavericks. What's different between this game and Mavericks? 2 games, mountain bike games coming out basically at the same time. Sensible question to ask. What do you think, Joe? What's different?
Yeah, and part of what Brian was just saying, honestly, when we pitch games like this to publishers, probably the first question they ask is what sets you apart from the competition. So you guys asking that isn't it's a great question. I mean, that's what publishers want to know too, is what sets you apart? And what I would answer to publishers and to you guys is number one are the physics. The physics do feel different. It's hard to see that in a video, but I promise that if you played this back to back with Descenders or Mavericks or Riders Republic, any of those games, it feels completely different than any of them. There's similarities to some, but it feels completely different. The big difference I would say between Mavericks and us when it comes to physics is our physics are all free physics, and you kind of do everything with the sticks. There's no canned animations. We don't have a single canned animation in the game right now. Where Mavericks is like mostly canned animations. So it feels way different. It's more responsive. It doesn't feel like you're ever fighting the game or that you did an input and it didn't work. A lot of times in Mavericks, I feel like I do the button thing and it's not working. Even like bunny hopping sometimes it like doesn't trigger. In this game, it's not like that. The other thing that'll set us apart, obviously Mavericks has this, but when we were first designing this game, we didn't even know Mavericks existed. But kind of this style of racing, UCI downhill, kind of World Cup style, split times and that is something that most games don't have. Our open mountain exploration is going to be done differently than other games. I know Mavericks has kind of a similar vibe, but I think... you know, we're hoping to release like different bike parks, and there'll be a lot of exploration elements and Easter eggs and things like that. But modding is a big one. I know Mavericks doesn't have modding, so you know what's different. Those were kind of our big pillars that we were telling publishers is physics that stand out. You know, we were focusing on tech riding, rocks and roots, and all those things that other games don't have. I mean, you hit a rock in Mavericks and you just die. Where in here, you know, you can roll over it like you could on a real downhill mountain bike. So physics, modding, open mountain environment, and there was a fourth pillar thing that I'm now forgetting, but you get the gist.
My guy Kareem on TikTok, thanks for being patient, man. Appreciate it. Wants to know if we're going to have custom suspension settings. Joe, you're always really good at. I mean, I agree with you fully, but you're the one who kind of convinced me about this approach, so I'll let you answer that question.
Yeah, to be quick about it, I don't like having setups. I think as a player, I don't like it. It always makes me wonder, like, am I not competitive because of my setup, or is it because of my skill? And I prefer when it's just everyone's on a level playing field, like Trackmania or like Mad Skills, the Mad Skills games. So that's the route we're going to take. No tuning, none of that stuff, because I want players to just hop in, not have to think about it, and not have to worry, is my setup wrong? Is that why I'm slow? Or, you know, whatever.
Kecklaw, thank you for the support, man. I'm glad that you're loving Crank, dude. Big time. That's for sure. Adam and a number of other people are asking how long until it comes out. I mean, really, in my view, it's in its way, it's out. I mean, this is all playable right now. Like when you're developing a game in public, you know, it's kind of already out. So if the question is like, when do we get to a point where we think, okay, this is officially the global release? That's going to be a while. But I mean, you know, we talk about everything we do in public, and we release builds like every week or two and showing exactly what the latest version of the game is. So really, I would say the answer to that question really is it's out. It's just out in the prototype Patreon stage
early
at this
alpha.
point.
We're past prototype now. Technically, we're in like pre-alpha
All right,
phase
cool.
here. So.
All right, so it was out in alpha phase then. In that case, so yeah, I mean, you know,
Pre-
what you see Joe
pre-alpha,
playing
Brian,
right now.
Brian, we gotta get this right. Pre-alpha. We're not done with alpha yet, but pre-alpha.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of the prototype phase, but we're in the pre-alpha phase.
Yeah.
All right.
We're in full production,
Anyway.
which would be not prototype, but we haven't finished alpha phase yet. So we're somewhere
You guys heard him.
between prototype and alpha. Not that it matters.
Tiger, I don't fully understand your question, but I'm interested in it. Can you restate that? I think you should add a try-hard mode with things you can do to your bike. The reason these type of... If you would, Tiger, complete that thought, because I'm curious what you're getting at.
Maybe he wants the suspension tuning in that, so he wants a different mode that players have the ability to do all those things. Why is my time saying I'm 34 seconds off? Something weird with this?
LN says, have any tips? I want to start a little downhill trail type game, not to release, but just for a hobby. What would you say, Joe? If you were just starting off, what advice would you... I don't know if you've made a game before. It'd be your first one, I'm not sure. But Joe, how would you answer that question?
I would say keep it small. Give yourself like strict deadlines. Say, look, I want to make a little game, and I want it to be done in 6 months. And then when the 6 months is done, move on to your next game. Because your first game will always be your worst, and every new game you make will be better. So don't spend 5 years trying to make your first game. Just bust something out quickly and move on to the next thing. And then bust that out quickly and move on to the next thing. And every time you do that, your games are going to get better and better. That'd be my suggestion.
I also think you should focus on the most important part of the game. So like if you think that good physics, that physics responding the way you want them to is super important to you, I would focus on that and not spend too much time worrying about the other things. It's tough to focus on a whole lot of things and get them all really good. Johnny, thanks for the follow, man.
Dude, this is kind of funny. The Louis said, the dirt tracks all look like a steak medium rare, and I can't unsee it. That's actually kind of funny. That's all placeholder. That'll change, but I just think that's funny. Let me go back to the other map, actually.
Cool, do it. Yeah, y'all, if you're seeing us play, we are in pre-alpha, not prototype stage, not alpha, pre-alpha, and you know, the art in the game, really the only real art in the game, so that's final, is the bike you see. Even it's not quite final, it's almost final. So you know, we want to keep a quaint, cozy style. Ultimately, I don't think stylistically this is crazy far from what we'll be going for ultimately, but it's going to look a lot more, you know, a lot more polished. And
the bike, at least, the environment is very far from where it would be artistically, stylistically.
Yeah.
Will there be different types of bikes? Asks Alec. And see, I can't reach chat and play at the same time. Yeah, we plan to have different types of bike, but in the beginning we're focusing on downhill, so they won't come for a while.
Kareem wants to know, Descenders won't work on his laptop with an i3. Do we think cranked works? I'm certain it would.
Here's what I tell people.
MacBook, so.
Here's what I say. It's $5. Try it out. If it doesn't work on your computer, send me a message and I will refund your $5.
Honestly, if you guys play it and you just hate it, just tell us and we'll just refund it. I mean, I hope, you know, we're trying to find people who want to play our game. We're not trying to trick people who don't want to play our game into paying. You know, our whole sort of calculus here is that we can make something good enough that enough people are going to want to do it, that we can stay in business and keep it going. That's what we're doing. So, you know, if you support us and you get into it and you're like, man, this is not, tell us. We'll refund it. Not a big deal.
Any customization? Not yet, but yeah, we do have a lot of plans for customization. Rider, bike, all that kind of stuff. We'll also have modding, so, you know, players will be able to customize maps and other things. We're not sure about how deep we'll do modding, but it's in the plans for sure.
Tails says that Sutin is cruising today. Why? What's he got going on over there, Tails? Is he setting some top times? Max Green says this game would be insane if the graphics were better. Well, good luck. I mean, good news, rather. They're gonna be. We haven't even done the graphics yet. It's all placeholder stuff, other than the bike. So, you know, think about the physics that you're seeing, and then imagine better looking graphics, and I think that's what you see down the line. Hang with us for a while, and you'll see it develop.
Oh, setting bug is annoying me.
Hunter, thank you for the follow so much, and everybody else who's following us for sure.
This is another new thing, guys, with the new build that'll come out tomorrow. Is this in-air rotation assist. I don't think that was in the last build. But you could toggle that on or off, and what it does is it was actually Michael Hodge, LCQ Studios, making a motocross game, recommended us to do this. But in the air, if you kind of let go both sticks, it'll like right the bike and make it so that it lands without you having to do much.
Hodge is normally here with us, but I haven't seen him today. Speaking of moto, who all watched the 250 final the other day, Supercross race? That was bonkers.
It was insane, wild.
Joe and I were watching kind of together, you know, from a distance, and we were just both losing our minds about that race. It was crazy for all the reasons.
Frank, I don't think there's a way to disable controller vibrations yet, but I know that's been brought up in the community and something on our radar, and we will add that for sure.
And Kareem, we would like to do bike parks. You know, this game is, modding is very important to this game. It's a pillar of what we're doing. It's always been a part of it. So, you know, when you open up modding, if we can build a vibrant modding community, I'm sure people will make all kinds of parks. But we also have a history of partnering with people. You can see we partner with Frameworks here, and partner with Space Mesa, and with Mad Skills we partner with Red Bull, and the Snowcross series, and all kinds of real world entities. So I'm pretty confident in our ability to find some fun partnerships with people where we can collab and just kind of make cool stuff together. I think we'll see it eventually, but we're not that far yet. Along the line. Thank you, Frank. Great game, he said. Appreciate that. Bailey, Joe, here you go. You're going to like this one. Bailey says, thank you, Bailey. This is going to make Joe's day. This game is just what real mountain bikers are looking for. And I know that's what Joe was looking for, too.
Ooh. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a real mountain biker, and I was looking for a game like this, and it didn't exist. So I said, why don't we make it ourselves? So thank you, appreciate that. Honestly, that's the best compliment. That style of compliment is my favorite and the best. We've had a lot of people say when they play this, it's the first mountain bike game they've played that feels like they're riding a real bike. Like countless people have told us that, and that's exactly what we were going for. It's not hyper realistic like MX bikes or anything, but the feeling of like being on a trail and riding bike over technical terrain and stuff is there.
Joshua, thank you so much. He says, killing it, y'all. Congrats on your partnership and networking progress. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's fun. Little boy and Ethan asking how much it is. Lots of people are asking that. Right now, you can only play this if you support us on Patreon, and you can do that for as little as $5 a month. And you get all the builds that we release over the month, and you get to keep them for good. You know, and then if you accumulate a total spend of $50 over time, you'll get a key to get the full game when it's released on Steam. We don't know what the final game's going to cost, and we don't have a free demo yet, but we will probably in December or something like that.
And we've got a bunch of people here on TikTok, so if you're new here, you know, we're only 5 going on 6 months into development here. We're very early on. All the art is basically placeholder. This bike is the first thing that's kind of been worked on that, you know, custom made. It's a Frameworks bike. It's still a work in progress, but other than that, everything else is placeholder. A lot of people asking about Descenders. It's definitely not a reskin of Descenders. It doesn't really feel anything like Descenders. We've got a completely different career mode. We're going to have a different core loop. We're going to have an open mountain environment. We're going to have racing on a global. We already have racing on kind of a global stage where you can you know, race anyone on global leaderboards, like UCI World Cup downhill style. There's a lot of differences between any of the other mountain bike games out there. It'd be kind of foolish of us to put our own hard-earned money into a game if we're just reskinning something that already exists. And I encourage you to go to YouTube and search for Brent Goes Fast, Descenders versus, what was it? Cranked versus Descenders. He just put out a video yesterday.
Cranked versus Descenders. Yeah.
Put out a video yesterday. He plays both games, loves both games, and did a really good job kind of talking about the differences and in that. So if you're interested from a player's perspective of how these games differ, you could check that out.
TJ on the beats, thanks for the follow. I'm curious about your beats, man. I'm gonna write your name down and go check your stuff out in a little bit. Butter, thank you for the follow, and ER, thank you so much for the follow. Harry, sharing the live. If you all feel like it to share in the live, we're up to 139 concurrent on TikTok right now. My goal has been 250 total between TikTok and YouTube, and you know, our YouTube's always super steady. It's always our OG crew hanging out there from our Discord and so forth. But TikTok's kind of what's going to get us to a higher number. So maybe we're up around 140 right now. So if y'all feel like sharing or whatever, we certainly appreciate it. Vic, that red chair is so comfy, man. It's a great chair. Thanks for hanging out. We're getting some more fake Descenders. Again, guys, if you're, you know, we're in early alpha right now. It's a very early game. If you want to kind of see what we're really up to and how we compare to other games, Bailey, thank you for the roses. Then just go to YouTube and search for Brent Goes Fast, Crank versus Descenders. He really does a great job of laying it out.
Yeah, and the big thing that he said, and I'm just going to quote his words, so it's not coming from me, it's coming from a player, but the big thing he said is that our game Cranked is grippy, like it grips, and he's like, that's how I always want a mountain bike game that grip like that because that's how it feels in real life. That's a big difference. But the other thing he said at the end of the video, which I really liked, was that, guys, we're 5 months into this. Descenders has been out, what, like 6 or 7 years? How many years did they spend in development? I would assume at least 2. So let's say they've had 9 years working on their game. Guys, we're not even 6 months in. Wait till we have 9 years and let's see where we're at there. It's going to be a completely different game at that point. So, you know, we're early on. We're kind of showing you guys this thing early, get you guys in early because we want your feedback. That was the whole point of this, to get you guys in early, get your feedback, get you on Patreon so that you guys can help us fund the rest of this game because publishers said mountain biking is not cool enough for them. You know, so we've got a long way to go, graphic wise, everything. But we're working hard, and I think for 5 months in, this is already pretty killer.
I think Julian or Joe. See, look at that. Now I'm calling Joe my son's name. See that, Aaron? Now I'm calling Joe my son's name, which is going to make this whole thing even worse. But anyway, says, and I said, oh yeah, Mr. Patron says, I'm getting a skate but bike feel. I think you'll like that for the most part. Not from a free-to-play standpoint. We're not going to go that route. But Joe, what do you say about the skate but bike feel?
I love it, dude. One thing I said actually on a TikTok the other day, trying to get down to this other trail, that I think the new skate did really well is cater to a lot of audiences. Like, it's good for casual players, it's good for people who want to skate realistically, and I'm hoping we can kind of have a similar thing. Like, if you want, you know, modders could make a map that's crazy huge with crazy speeds and massive gaps and just ridiculousness, or a modder can make a map, or we can make trails that are realistic and keep it slow and you know, that kind of vibe. So I think that'll be fun, seeing kind of how the different trails shape up and see what modders do in this game and all the different variety we get. I'm excited for that.
Another way I would answer the question where people ask, you know, because that was a fair question. He said, I'm going to kind of credit the right person. He said, Jacob Lowry, I hope you're here. We're still with us, man. I'm not saying anything bad, just wondering how you're going to promote it when it's so similar. You know, we're developing it in public. That's way different than what the others have done. We're really, I come from action sports. Joe comes from action sports. All the games we've ever made, the Bills games, they've all been rooted in actual sports. You know, we had Cam McCall on last week. I don't know, maybe Descenders has had somebody like Cam on their streams and stuff in the past. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm guessing that we're going to be a little more rooted in the sport as well. So I don't know. We're trying to build social media. Honestly, we're trying to build the game on it, and we're kind of feeling like it's going to work itself in the end, just by being smart and sticking to our guns. So I don't know. We don't have a budget for marketing this game right now. Maybe eventually we will, but right now we're just building it and building it really good, and we think we can kind of work with that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Someone earlier was saying they can't join the Patreon. If you get an error that says, like, you know, your account is screwed up or whatever, it's a really annoying thing with Patreon, actually, and I've been emailing them multiple times, and what you need to do is go to the website, go to the contact form, submit a thing to their trust and safety team, and they'll ask you some questions. You'll verify your account and they'll fix it. But whatever their like bot thing is that tries to flag fraudulent accounts definitely needs some adjustment, and like multiple people get that. It's super annoying, and there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately.
Wolftops, thanks so much for the props. He says it looks awesome for just 6 months. Appreciate that, and also you have a great username, Wolftops. Pretty good. Alec asked if it's going to be realistic graphics. I mean, we kind of answered that a little bit. No, we're not going for super. We're going for painterly and quaint and cozy. If you go realistic, it takes a lot more computer power to run it well, and we really want a game that's fun and runs well on most rigs. So it'll be its own style. It's not, we're not going for super realistic, but it's always going to have elements of realistic and lots of nods to the sport. I mean, you know, first bike's a Frameworks bike, so you know we're paying attention to the sport, and I think you'll see a lot more of that type of stuff in this game.
Ooh.
We're getting a lot of that. I mean, again, I know these guys just hopped in here. How are you going to compete with games like Descenders? We've answered it so many times, but we're just making a very different game, and we're developing it in public as a true indie, self-funded studio. It plays completely differently. We just think by doing this very honestly and in the open over time, we're gonna find enough people to keep us going. That's kind of what we're about.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't make this game thinking we need to be, you know, we don't have stakeholders. We don't have anybody we have to like figure out how to make $30 million on this game or anything like that. You know, that's not the way it is. So we just don't really think about that too much, I guess.
I've been riding bikes my whole life, and if I thought the perfect mountain bike game already existed, I wouldn't be putting, you know, we wouldn't be putting our hard-earned savings into making this game. So I have a vision for this game, and I didn't feel like any of the games out there kind of satisfied my vision and what I want to see in a mountain biking game, and I don't think I'm alone in what I want. I think there's other people out there who like what I like, so I'm going to make the mountain bike game that kind of fits my vision and what I think mountain biking community needs, and hopefully it resonates with a bunch of people.
There you go. Cameron asks if there are any mods at the moment. No, not at the moment, but it's very important to us. The first time Joe ever told me about this game years ago, mods and physics-based movement mods and awesome play with friends were like three things that were just sort of pillars from the beginning. So we will definitely focus heavily on mods, but we're just not quite there yet.
Want to do some free riding. That's cool, man. William, that's cool, man. What made you guys make this game? I actually told Brian I wanted to talk about this, so it's a good question. But it's kind of similar to what I was just saying. I think where do I start with this? It could go on for a long time. Like I said, I've been riding bikes a long time. And to me, I love action sports games. I've also been playing action sports games since I was a little kid. I remember like renting, I think I rented like a PlayStation. My dad rented a PlayStation for me from Blockbuster back in the day when like some X Games game came out. You know, so I've been playing all these kind of games my whole life, been riding my whole life, skateboarding, all that stuff. And there's just something satisfying to me about action sports games, about like nailing a jump or a kickflip or kind of, you know, hitting the downside of a landing perfectly and, you know, hitting a manual perfect. Like there's just that, you guys know what it is. You guys know that feeling when you finally nail something and it just feels so good. And I love when games capture that, and a lot of games do it very well. And I never felt that there was a mountain bike game that did. Like, that just didn't get those satisfaction and those feelings. And most of the mountain bike games I play, I would just get frustrated with. Like there were certain things, and it would frustrate me to the point of where I would rage quit. And I'm like, I can't do it. And you know, you kind of take all those things you hate and you put them in a list, and then you go, okay, let's make a game that has none of those things. And what are the things that I like? Okay, let's put those in a list. And then, you know, you start kind of creating this vision. One thing leads to another, and now we're working on Cranked. So it kind of just comes from lifelong experience of playing action sports games, participating in action sports, and being a game designer for the last 13 years, and all that kind of coming together to do this cash roll for you guys right here.
Here's one from Grace, who asked that. I think she's not here, unfortunately, so I'm afraid we're answering it and she's gone already. But I'm going to ask it anyway, Joe, because I think it's a good question. Is the game going to be just free ride, or is it going to have daily challenges and other stuff?
That's a great question. Yeah, right now we don't have any of like the core loop in there other than racing, but this is how I want to do it. But things will change because you guys in the community come up with better ideas, and then I'm like, ooh, maybe let's change the plan. But I want it to be, as of right now, we've got plans for about 6 different chairlifts. In the base of the mountain, we'll have a bike shop and other things you can do. And when you first get into the game, there'll be one chairlift open, and you can go up to that chairlift, take it to the top. You get to the top, that area of the mountain will have like blues and greens and easier trails. When you get to a trail, you can decide if you want to race it or free ride it. There will be challenges for both things. So if you want to race it or free ride it, there will be challenges you can complete. As you complete those challenges and you get back to the base of the mountain, you know, you'll like level up your player. We don't know what we'll call it, XP. Everyone calls it XP, so it'll probably be called something different, but you'll get XP, you'll level up your character, and then you'll start unlocking more things, more parts of the mountain, more chairlifts will open up. You know, so we'll have that. We'll have multiplayer, so you can do all those same challenges and races and stuff with a friend or solo. You could play online or offline. Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do when it comes to the core loop and the challenges and the achievements and kind of the fun stuff. We're also going to hopefully have a bunch of Easter eggs and hidden secrets. There's already actually some Easter eggs hidden in here that I haven't found myself. Zach put them in and didn't tell me, and I need to go find them. So we want players to get into this open world mountain environment, explore, have fun, and just play the game the way you want to play it. I think Skate did a great job with that, and I want to do a similar job. You know, if you want to race, you can race. If you want to free ride, you can free ride. If you just want to get in there with your buddies and goof off, you can do that. If you want to be a modder and just make sick mods, that could be your jam too. So hoping to kind of just make a fun sandbox of bikes, really. And if this game is successful and is making money, we're going to keep adding to it. You know, there's like endless possibilities. I've got ideas for cross-country style races where it's like everyone at the same time, and you're managing energy and shifting gears and getting through and handing off your water bottle, like grabbing the bottle, not trying to miss it, and oops, I missed it, and now I have less energy for the next lap. And you know, I've got all these ideas of things that I haven't seen in other games. We could have BMX bikes, we could have tandem mountain bikes where you and your buddy have to do something together to get down the hill. I don't know, I got tons of ideas, so let's make this thing a success. Join the Patreon, and let's just make a badass sandbox bike game. That's my jam.
If you're not ready to join the Patreon, you could always just wishlist us on Steam. That helps as well, and it allows you to kind of keep up with what we've got going on. And when we have a free demo on there eventually, you'll remember we exist, and you can check it out if you want to.
We could go explore for Easter eggs, but I feel like you guys might be bored. But Zach said there's 2 Easter eggs hidden right now. And Brian, I think one of them has to do with Baby Monkey.
Oh, no way.
But I don't even know. And he said one of them, he knows where it is, and it's still hard for him to find it. So if you don't know where it is, it's probably going to be even harder. But we got this drone mode now, which is cool, because now you can kind of do track walks. You can hide it, or you can show it. But look, you can kind of just go through here and, like, you know, do a little track walk. One thing I really want to do, Suron would be sick. I see that in chat. That would be fun. One thing I want to do is get a legit FPV kind of drone mode in here, because imagine if you could get in here with your buddies and you're just chasing your buddy around on an FPV drone or something. I think that would be sick.
Ryder spamming us with, will you be able to get sponsorship in the game? I got you, Ryder. We're all good. I see your question. I'll answer it for you now. We don't have any plans for that. You know, I had an idea for that. Pretty good idea, I thought, back in the day for one of the Mad Skills games. Never quite did it the way I thought maybe we would do it, but no, we haven't talked about it for this one. I know Mavericks did that in their game. It's kind of a big part of their meta, I think. So I don't know. It doesn't interest me super much. How about you, Joe? Are you into some type of like in-game sponsorship or no?
Nah, not really. I don't know. I think it's been overdone. I think, you know, MX vs ATV, and I don't know. I mean, so many games over the years have done it. It makes sense because that's what you're doing in real life. You know, you want to get a sponsorship and whatever, but I don't think we'll go that route. I think we've got some other ideas that seem more interesting, in my opinion.
Seems like that's something that a lot of people are digging about Mavericks, though. I've seen, because I hang it on their Discord some. It seems like people like that sponsorship track thing that you have.
Karim, yes, I want to be able to connect a real FPV controller. I actually have one somewhere around here. I used to fly FPV. I want to be able to connect a real FPV controller and have legit FPV physics and controls in the game. So much so that I would like to partner with an FPV game that already exists. You know, ideally one that uses Unity, and we'd probably have to be on a similar Unity version for it to be compatible, which was probably not going to happen. But, you know, I think to do it right would be a huge undertaking, and I think, you know, my idea is like partner with a developer who's good at that, and we do like a little in-app purchase of like, let's say $5 unlocks the FPV mode, and we just, you know, all of that money goes to that developer who helped us put it in the game. Something like that I think would be sick. So if any of you guys out there know anyone, any of the developers making the drone games, the drone sims, look, hook it up and let's talk.
I also love the idea of indie devs who are scrapping and working so hard to bring something to life that they care so much about, working together to help each other do that very thing. Love it. It's such a awesome form of like pure cooperation with other people who are driven by passion. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Wolftops, when is it expected to release? I don't know. We don't really, like I like to say, it's kind of already released if you think about it, because we just keep releasing everything as it is anyway. But as far as what we would technically call global release, it's probably going to be a couple years. Early access before that, though.
It also depends on, I mean, we're being super honest and open with you guys. It depends on the Patreon. Like, and maybe this is, I should be careful what I say. If you guys don't join the Patreon and we aren't making money, we'll probably release it sooner and it'll be much smaller and lesser of a game. If the Patreon's kicking and we're making tons of money and that allows us to extend the scope of the game and add more things like the FPV drone and, you know, more things that community requests, then it'll probably be a little longer until global release. So it kind of really depends, you know. If all of a sudden we're like out of money, we'll probably just release whatever we got and see how much money we're making on Steam and then take it from there. But you know, it's kind of hard to estimate it because we're kind of just going with the flow and seeing what happens. I think our plan is it's in early access on Steam about a year from now, though.
I want to kind of make a comment that share a comment that Alec made, because he's been hanging with us for a long time and he's been patient here. You should make different mountain ranges that have different types of tech, he says. Joe, what's your take?
Yeah, actually, that was the plan. So, I mean, even in this map, but we also plan to do different maps. So if you look, we specifically sculpted the shape and the size of this map for that reason. So I'm going to try to like get up in the air and over here to kind of show you a better idea. But if you look at the parts that are rocky, the gray parts, those are very steep and technical. So those parts are going to be pretty gnarly and insane. And then if you go to like the sides over there, or like the furthest right hill there, it's very mellow and more flowy. So like those trails will have a different vibe. Like this rock section right in front of me here is going to be incredibly steep and have its own kind of style. So we laid this place out with that in mind. And then the whole backside of it, we're hoping will just kind of be this free ride open area with like loose rock, and you can kind of just carve and chill and go down. And maybe we'll have like kickers that you could place out and find natural landings and put a kicker in front of it and just like have kind of fun free riding in the backside of this whole place. That's the plan. And then, you know, we'll do different environments and biomes later. So we really like the idea of like an urban downhill vibe. So maybe the next map is like a favela style. Some of it's like a tropical racing vibe, and some of it's like a favela urban downhill. Then maybe we do a desert one that's more Red Bull Rampage style, etc. So yeah, hopefully we have a bunch of different types.
Austin's name. Hey, thanks for coming by. My nephew is Austin. It says MX Bikes is the GOAT, but this looks cool. Hey, full props
Dude,
to
MX Bikes is awesome.
Yeah, full props to that game. As somebody who comes from Moto, every time I see a video of MX Bikes, I'm just like, that dude did something special. That's all there is to it. I know it's difficult, but boy, it's good.
Especially when you see good people play it. Oh, man, it looks so good.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I watched you play, Joe, and it didn't look so good.
Yeah, no, I suck at that game. I try a bunch,
but when I see the best play that game, it is just remarkable what that guy built. All props, for sure. Did a great job. Ryan Donald, thanks for hanging out. What specs do you need to play this? Because it doesn't say on Patreon. We don't really have listed specs just because we haven't found many devices that it won't play on. I'll play it on a basic MacBook Pro, like 4 years old MacBook Pro M2. People play on lower machines than that. So, you can adjust the graphic settings, and if it's a little choppy, you can turn them down, and it plays great on anything. If you get it on a machine, anybody, this goes for anybody. If you join our Patreon and you support us and it just doesn't run on your machine, just tell us and we'll refund your money. All of it. So you can give it a try and see what you think if you'd like.
That's the other new
addition.
addition.
Of comments here.
Sorry, as I'm blowing my nose, guys. That's the other new addition. Now when you place a marker, there's actually a red thing. It's kind of pretty. Go ahead, roll the comments, Brian. What do we got?
Wooftops, who's been hanging with us for a while, which honestly, TikTok it seems a little more in and out than YouTube. YouTube, our viewers tend to hang with us like the whole stream most of the time. On TikTok, there's a lot of in and out. But Wooftops has been around for a while. He says, how big is your team and what are y'all's parts in it? Joe?
Good question.
I'm going to start. I'll kind of answer the part about your part, Joe. Joe's the visionary of this whole thing. He's the game director. I've been working with Joe for 15 years now, something like that. One of my best friends in the world. He's had this game in his head for a long time. Also, he's had a desire to make a premium game without the sort of shackles of a free-to-play world that we come from. Some place where he could make every decision based on what's great, not based on, how we think this is going to kind of look data-wise and all that stuff. We've done that and we're kind of over it. So Joe is the leader here, man. We're all following his vision here. He knows trust him, and he's an awesome person to work with. And he's still working a little bit with the Mad Skills games. Not a ton, but a little bit. And that's anything else you want to say about your role, Joe? I mean, he's the one who knows what this is supposed to be and is helping us all understand how to get it there, is what I would say. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I think I'm doing, all that. Plus, I'm doing a lot of the content creation, the marketing, the community management. So if you're getting responded to online, it's typically Brian or I, and now soon to be Julian, Brian's son. But yeah, doing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, Brian summed it up pretty good.
I'll let you answer the question about what I'm doing, Joe, because I kind of have an unusual role here. I was on staff at Turborilla making Mad Skills games for a long time, but now I'm kind of doing my own thing, making a living. So I have only so much time that I get the privilege of devoting to Cranked right now. How would you answer the question of what role I'm playing right now?
Brian, I think the most important role Brian plays is helping us make sure that we're working effectively and efficiently as possible, because we're such a small team with a limited budget, we don't have time or money to waste. And what Brian's super good at is figuring out ways to be more productive and get things done. A lot of it's with using AI, but we don't use AI for creation of assets or creation of game elements or anything like that. We use it more for organizing ourselves and creating, just documents and other things like that. But I think that's one of the big roles you play. Obviously, Brian has a lot of, he's a visionary too, and he's got a lot of good ideas, especially when it comes to like how to market the game. He's got a huge marketing background. So I kind of lean into him about how we should be marketing things, how we should be talking to people, how I can do, what was that, like a 1260 or something? What else am I missing?
Oof.
Brian, ever since I've been working with Brian, I think my favorite part of working with Brian is just our brainstorming sessions. We get together a lot. We do these little, we visit each other and we spend few nights together, and just kind of, sometimes we'll go on we designed a mountain. We came up with the original mountain bike idea. It turned into a totally different game, but the original kind of mountain bike idea we designed on a hike in Colorado once, and we had a stick and we were drawing in the dirt together, figuring out this mountain bike game together. And like, without Brian and I having these times together and kind of hanging out and chatting and brainstorming and kind of like we just feed off of each other so well. And when him and I are together, we end up creating a way cooler product than if we were on our own. So I think more than anything, it's just that relationship is what's important to me.
I think one other thing that's maybe a little more subtle, I think you kind of know about it, Joe, is that this is really the first time that you've been in a leadership position, not outside of the Army, to this level, where you're kind of like running points on everything. And I've been in that position a lot in my career. And I'm just, I'm kind of just trying to support you and help you kind of grow into this role, this leadership role, and be everything you can be. Your potential's incredible. It always has been, and I like to try to just make sure that you've got, somebody who's in your corner helping you be the absolute best version of yourself that you can be. And I try to do that with everybody around me. I try to do it with my kids and everything. So it's important to me.
Yeah, and I will say you've done a great job of that. I mean, I think the two people in my life who've helped me the most with leadership skills was Sergeant Bruss, who was our platoon sergeant, in the first deployment I went on. He taught me a whole lot, and then Brian was the next one. So.
Thanks for the question. We talked a little too much about ourselves. Just quickly about the rest of the crew. We've got Zach as well. He's our programmer. We originally had Elias helping us a bit. He's on the Mad Skills games now, or maybe a different project. I'm not sure. And we have Maggie, our artist. So there's Zach, the developer, Maggie, the artist. Both come from the Mad Skills games in Turbarilla. We have Ant Grass, Cedric, who is our trail builder. And then we've got Joe on staff. They're the ones who are actually on staff getting paid. And then there's me, and Fish is one of the other founders, and Tobias is one of the other founders, and then Joe. And we all kind of, because we've invested money and time and energy into this and we believe in it, we all do stuff just off of payroll, basically. That's the team. Right, Joe? Did I miss anybody?
I don't think so. Couple questions I want to answer real quick. George, how many trails will be in total? How many trails in total at the moment? Good question. If you go here, you can see all the raceable trails. There's 4 raceable trails on this map. I think there's 4 or 5 raceable trails on the other map. But then we have a bunch of non-raceable trails yet. They'll be raceable soon. And that's like, I think about 3 right here. So what is that? 3. So there's 7 on this map, technically, plus another one over there, 8. There's about 8 trails on this map now. But the idea is to have about 40 by the end of it. The other question I wanted to answer was, will there be canned animations at all? Same with Mad Skills Motocross, but we tried to not do canned animations at all. We like physics-based animations. They're not even technically animations. It's physics-based approach is what we're going for. Obviously, if we get to the point where we're doing like Supermans and bar spins and tail whips, tricks like that, you have to animate them. There's no way around it. But besides that, like when it comes to whips, scrubs, all that kind of stuff, like how you jump and all that, there's no canned animations. It's all just like with the physics, the free physics of the game.
Ed, thank you for the follow on TikTok and everybody else who's been following. It's been a great day of people connecting with us over on TikTok. Man, it's the best day we've had on TikTok ever. Great. And it's been great. Talk about it.
I was just going to ask real quick. Let me know in chat. Do you guys want me to race or just freestyle? And I'll do whatever you want for the next... First couple people I see, give me a response is what I'm going to go do.
I want to hop over to YouTube for a little bit. Tails is saying, man, I gotta just 100% agree with you. He says, every trail is even better than the previous. Lars said, the new trails look amazing. Ant Grass seems to continue finding his groove more and more. Man, you're so right. He's crushing.
Yep.
I just feel like this whole effort, from my standpoint, Joe and I've been talking about this lately, it's like a flow state that I feel like we're in right now. It just feels like that. Joe and I are talking all day, every day, and, contacting each other with ideas and things that we work on. And the crew back in Sweden is just working so hard. I just feel like everybody's flowing right now. So, yeah, Ant Grass is killing it. So creative.
Let's find some gaps. People are saying find some gaps. Let's do that.
Yeah. Adam on YouTube says free ride. He likes seeing the new tracks. He wants to see some free riding.
There is a gap.
The vicinity of the new tracks.
There is a gap I know of that I haven't hit clean. Let's see if we can hit it. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about.
While you're looking, I'm going to answer a couple questions here. Caleb wants to know how you get the game. Anybody wants to know how to get the game? I'm going to answer 2 questions. There's the typical, it looks like Descenders questions we get, and then there's the how do we get the game question. It's a pre-alpha game right now, so the way that it looks right now is not the way. eventually, but I encourage you, anybody who feels that way or who wants to kind of know what, just go check out Brent Goes Fast on YouTube. He did yesterday. He released Cranked versus Descenders. Loves both games. Talks about what he thinks is where each game shines, and I think it felt honest to me, and can tell the guy likes both games. Just go check that out if you care. You know, if you like mountain bike games, I think it's worth seeing. You'll see that we're really nothing like guys. And then also we got how do we get the game? So we are a self-funded indie effort. We are developing this game in public, partially with support from Patreon. So the way you can play right now is by supporting us on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, that's the lowest paid tier, you will get the builds that we do, and you'll get every one we release over the course of your subscription. So if you subscribe for 1 month, $5, you'll get the build we're releasing that we have out now. You get the one we're Frameworks bike in it, and anything else that we release over the next month, you'll get and you'll keep forever. So you could literally just subscribe for 1 month. And also, if you subscribe and you just don't like it, just tell us and we'll refund your money.
Boom. There's the gap I've been trying to hit. That was kind of
Nice,
fun.
nice
actually.
hit, yeah. Good job. Alex says, what's the YouTube channel called? Cranked Game. Just look for Cranked Game on YouTube.
He's probably
his
talking
is called
about
Brent Goes Fast.
Yeah.
Brent Goes Fast. So go to Brent Goes Fast. That's what it's called, and you will find he released this yesterday. Cranked versus Descenders. Felt fair. Just like we like Descenders, he likes Descenders as well. So I just think it's more about the breakdown about how they're different, really. And it feels to me like it's more effective. You guys seeing somebody else talk about than us just saying the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. And I think it's more meaningful when it comes from a player's perspective. I mean, it's someone we don't know personally. Like, he's just a player who found the game and has been playing. I mean, him and I have chatted a little bit here and there, but, I think it means more when it comes from a player than if you hear the developers, Brian and I up here, be like, oh, look at our shit doesn't stink, so.
MLJ Shift over on YouTube. I want to acknowledge you, first of all. I've seen you hanging out and called you out yet, so thanks for hanging out for so long with us. He says, can't wait for this game to have more trails. It's already the best mountain bike game. He can only imagine how good it's going to be. I mean, what do we have? 10 total trails, including the prototype map now? Is that right, Joe?
What did I say? There was 8 on here. Probably 12-ish trails, something
12.
like that.
Imagine when the thing that we call global release comes out. And it's got 40+ trails handcrafted by Antgrass, and we have modding, and we have a vibrant people making awesome stuff there. I'm with you, man. I think the potential of this game's awesome. I think that's kind of one of the things that comes from like really focusing on the most important thing, gameplay, is like just make it awesome, and then everything else can kind of flourish from there.
I just found out that you can go into drone mode in the air, and your dude just chilling, which is kind of fun. I want to come in drone mode, guys. Let's find some gaps. If you guys see anything,
what do you think, Makai? You count on this being content that we show sometime in the next couple of days, Makai. That bike floating in the air.
There's got to be a killer gap around here somewhere.
Cool. All right. Jacob wants to know if you can make huge jump lines. Can you guys make huge jump lines? He asks.
Well, yeah. Are you still here? Because let me show you. Is this jump line not huge enough? I'm curious what you think. This jump line, I think, is the most fun one we have in the game, and I'll try to do the whole thing top to bottom.
Jacob is still here with us.
Sick. All right. So you tell me what you think of this. Does it need to be bigger, smaller, just more of the same? I just cased, so now I'm screwed. I'll do it eventually.
While you're doing this, I'm going to answer Moritz, who asked, will you be able to change the suspension setup? We answered this one earlier. We get it a lot. Probably not. Just the general idea is that we're trying to make a game that's fun and that you get into and you start railing right away. And, setup, it's meant to be very competitive. And when there's a lot of people don't know if they're not winning because of the setup or if they're not winning because of the way they're riding, and we just kind of want to keep it simple, kind of what we're going for is like simple fun. So there will be different bikes, downhill bike that we have now, an enduro bike, and I know there's a list of different types of bikes that Joe wants to include eventually, but probably not individual setups, probably not.
This hip is the best hip in the game. Look at this thing, dude. Throw it out, bring it back. Almost ate it. That actually looked horrible. And I lost my speed.
VR, we're getting the message for VR. We get that a lot, and we think about it more now. We're so early, we're not anywhere near this point, but I'm with you, man. I agree. I think it'd be great in VR, and who knows? If this game ends up being a hit, And by hit, I just mean if we stay in business and we can keep it going and figure out what we want to do next, maybe we'll do VR one day.
All right, what do you think about this float show? Who was it that asked? Did you say his name was George?
What was the question you're asking?
The jump trail? Like,
Oh.
what? I wanted feedback on what'd you think? What do you think of that trail? Not enough jumps? Too big? Too small? We want more? You can Shrelp? Kind of did a Shrelp there. Let's see. There it is.
Will on Wheels. I hope you're still here because you're asking an interesting question. I'm gonna look and see if I can see you in here.
Add it like that, but with long and lows. Dude, you're reading Cedric's mind. He had the same idea, and this is the trail he made. That's all long and lows. Look at this. Ready? Long and low trail. This trail's actually really fun, these long and lows.
Alec, how much longer are we streaming? We're going to stream for 24 more minutes until the bottom of this hour because I'm going into the mountains fly fishing this weekend and I can't wait.
Oh, that jump right there is so good. I gotta hit that a few times, guys. But you come around that
trail is so good.
Yeah, you come around that left-hand corner and there's a lip right there, and if you just lean the bike down out of the left-hand corner and scrub that jump, and it's just like, it's a thing of beauty. Antgrass, if you're watching, dude, I'd give you a kiss on top of your forehead if you were here. But
Jacob and Dutch and Fred, thank you guys so much for the follow. Ed, you guys are following and sharing. If you're on Steam, please consider wish listing on Steam. That helps us a lot. And sharing and talking to us on social. If you guys ever see anything we're doing on social media and you think we can do better, or if you see anything we're doing on the stream and you think we could do better, just tell us. We want to get better at this stuff that we're doing, and we're trying to be open-minded, and we're trying to be honest with ourselves about what we're getting right. So Discord's a really good place to talk to us. We're very active over there, and trying to really establish a sense of community there. And want to invite everybody to hang out with us on Discord and tell us what you think, honestly. We want to know what you really think, and we'll try to learn from it if we can.
Connor, is the build with the Framers bike out for Patreon members? Tomorrow. Connor, tomorrow, look out, and you should get the build. And Brandon just said, first time playing right now, I'll tell you how I like it. So hell yeah, Brandon.
Sweet.
Give us some live feedback.
Brandon, we will read whatever you say verbatim, no matter what it is.
Just wishlisted, said Dutch. Thank you. You guys, if you
Thanks,
haven't
Dutch.
wishlisted, please do. Obviously, it's free. You'll get notified when we get a free demo up later this year. So get that wish list going. It really helps. I know all the games are always like, wish list. The reason everyone begs you for wish list is because the way the algorithms on Steam and everything work. So do it if you want. This trail's
Checking out
amazing.
over
It's
the
like,
YouTube side.
you know, there's not many turns in this trail, but it's just fun and flowy and fast and it's good.
That's
Then
what
you hit-
Tails was just talking about, how flowy it is.
Then you hit that berm way too fast. But actually, let me do it again, and I want to show you guys how the Shrelping mechanic is actually super useful. We had Cam on last week, Cam McCall, and he was saying, Shrelping in real life definitely slows you down, and he thinks we should keep it that way in the game, and that's how it is now. You can play on Mac, Cohen Peterson. It's already on Mac. If you join the Patreon, you can download a Mac version. But this is a good example of when the Shrelp comes in handy, because I can hit that last berm. You just saw what happens if I don't Shrelp. I just blew that berm, went over the berm. I'm going to do it this time, but I won't break it all. And I'll just throw a little Shrelp in there. And usually what happens is it slows me down just enough to make it a perfect amount. We'll see if it works this time.
Hey Joe, we just got a good comment from Jalen.wave. He said, you guys did a great, and this has nothing to do with me, but he said, you guys did a great job with the depth perception of the trails. I haven't heard that comment a lot, I don't think, but I think it's a good, it's interesting.
Thanks.
What do you guys think? Joe, you agree with that?
Yeah, I think there's still things I want to adjust, and especially once we get third person in. But yeah, I think it looks good so far. All right, here we go. Let's see if the Shrelp works. Nope. See, I blew it.
Hogglefart, a great username, wants to know what the physics are like. Is it a simulation closer to MX bikes or more arcadey like Descenders?
Yeah, let's talk about that. It is. I would say it's Simcade, but I want to explain how the controls work. I mean, if you're I think only YouTube. Does only YouTube get my controller overlay? Probably. But here you go. Here's left stick, left and right. So that, similar to MX bikes, it turns Right stick left and right will lean, but if you incorporate both of them together, you know, you can get the bike down quite low. Left stick back and forth is how you like wheelie and lean in the air, forward and backward, or, you know, you can endo. And then right stick back and forth does this, like stand up or crouch. So that's kind of like a pump and the jump mechanic. So you kind of crouch down, you go up to jump. And you kind of put all these things together, both sticks in the air, and it's all free physics. There's no canned animations. But I don't think riding a bicycle in real life is super difficult. So the core controls of like pedal, brake, turn are super easy to learn. Most people we hand, you know, especially if you're a gamer, if we hand you a controller and tell you the controls, you're going to get to the bottom of the mountain, probably first try. The hard part is being competitive, going fast, dialing in your lines, finding the flow. You know, line choice is super important in this game, just like in real life. I will show you guys the leaderboards now just to prove a point. I'm Joe Mama So Fast on here, the yellow name. I've played this game probably more than anyone in the world, and you could see, you know, I've probably played this trail the most. I'm a 205. Cheese omelet is a 2 minute. So I'm 5 seconds behind already. That's, I mean, skill gap's massive. You look at other people, they're like 3 minutes here. So the hard part of the game isn't just learning the basics. The hard part is getting good at the basics and getting fast and all those things.
We have like the tale of two. This is kind of what it's like running a stream these days, which is interesting. It makes it fun. Dutch says, game devs that do stuff like this, go live, play their own game and just chat are by far my favorite. Thank you, Dutch. It's fun for us too because we like each other so much and we spend so much time talking to each other anyway that it's kind of fun when we go live and we have other people involved. Like what Joe and I are here is so much of our time when we're... And then Justin, who I'm guessing is not here, said, 2025 when you guys made a game that looks like it's from the early 2000s. Junk. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah,
that.
dude. Let's be real, dude. Early 2000s was a better time period than now anyway.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's cool.
This is 6 months in, so, you know, don't compare us to
Yeah.
games that have been out for 7 years. We need more
Brandon-
time.
Yeah. It's not Descenders. Again, this is Cranked, and if you guys go to... say this to the guy who was saying the game's junk, too. Just go to Brent Goes Fast on YouTube and search for Cranked versus Descenders. He did a video last night. He's just some dude who did a video. He likes both games, talks about how they're different. You know, by all means, check it out. Dutch, we're not the only ones working on it. We're two of the founders. We're two of the owners of the company. Joe's the game, the lead, the game director, and we have a few other people in Sweden and one in Canada also work. So small crew, but very passionate.
Ooh. My mom over on YouTube just said, nice shirt. She bought me this shirt, and it says that I'm in a relationship with Ben and Jerry, because I love Ben and Jerry's. So thanks, Mom. Thanks for the shirt.
Speaking of shirts, somebody asked earlier if we are the Mad Skills like motocross crew. Yeah, we are. See that?
Yep.
Oh, I think we don't have the. We actually don't have the.
Oh, I got the overlay off.
The overlay up right
yeah.
now. Yeah, you turned it up.
Thank you in
Send it
chat.
is.
Let's go back to... I'm screwing everything up. YouTube. I don't want to like abandon our core.
No, I'm watching
YouTubers.
over there. I'm watching
All right, cool.
over there.
Yeah, if you guys got it, if you guys want anything on YouTube, any suggestions, any requests, hit us up. We're getting down to about 15 minutes
Anyway,
left.
I was showing you Mad Skills Motocross. This is that. Yeah, we are the crew that we're kind of the part of the OG crew of Mad Skills Motocross and Mad Skills BMX and those things.
I mean,
for a
Brian
long time.
here is the reason Mad Skills Motocross ever got on the mobile. Before then, it was just a PC game. So, shout out to Brian for making it playable in all our pockets, or the idea of
And
it.
Julian, my son, who is the intern, was in the first because he wanted to play a video game when he was a little boy. It was kind of right before, it was as mobile gaming was blowing up, and he wanted to play a game. And I remembered I had that on my Mac, and I opened it up, and he was playing it, and I saw the physic. I saw the motorcycle move, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? Who made that? That, like, I can see the weight moving. It's an arcade game, but it looks like it's got this element of realism, and that turned into me reaching out to Tobias and this dude from northern Sweden. We made a deal. Hey Gage, I made your childhood better. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man. I think 200 and some million or 200 million people played Mad Skills, something like that. I think of all the Mad Skills games, it was like 225 million people have played this game. So I actually ran into two people in the wild the other day. People are always surprised if I meet them locally, and they're like, wait a minute, you made Mad Skills Motocross? Because so many people grew up with that game. Two guys in my barbershop at one time, independently, Joe, were like, wait a sec, because I think I was wearing the shirt.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
wait a second, you made this game? Yeah, it was pretty cool. I always like seeing it in the wild. It's fun.
I just saw a couple questions on TikTok I want to answer, but now I think they're gone off my screen. Can you manual? Yeah, I just did one a little bit ago. There was another one. Oh, will there be Alec, will there be a feature where you can make your own trail that isn't modding, like, you know, just like trail digging and carving? We want to do that, but like I said earlier, you know, we got to kind of do the basics first and then figure out how much money we got left over, how successful is the game. But yeah, if this game is as successful as we want it to be, our hope and our plan someday is to do a trail building mode. I would love that. I'd love, here's the idea that we had, is like, imagine we release, let's say we're going to do a desert style map and we release 2 versions of it. One where we had Antgrass carve out a bunch of trails on it. We release it with about 40 different trails. Then we release a version that has 0 trails. It's just the base mountain, and it's up to the community to go in there with their shovels and whatever. We even thought it'd be cool to have like a team feature where like you create a team and your team starts building trails, and then we have contests where everyone like rides their own trails or something, kind of like Red Bull Rampage style. So we've got all these kind of really fun, crazy ideas, but it really just comes down to like how much money do we have and how successful is the game and all that.
Jinx Enthusiast is asking, does it play similar to Descenders, like controls and the feel of the gameplay? Yeah, I'm just gonna I think the best thing to do, Jinx, is to go to watch that YouTube video that Brent Goes Fast did yesterday. I know I've mentioned it a number of times, but this question gets asked so many times, and I think this is like the best answer we've ever had for it. Brent Goes Fast did a video yesterday called Cranked versus Descenders. He loves both games, but understands that they're very, very different, and he just kind of breaks it all down. It's like an impartial opinion about it. So if you're curious, go check that out.
But yeah, I would say controller-wise, like Sam Tabor, I had a conversation with him after he played. I think it was him, and I asked him like how similar did he think they are, and he goes, "Well, controller-wise, like I picked it up immediately because the controls are similar." So control-wise, yes. If you're used to Descenders, like you won't have to like relearn everything, but physics-wise, it does feel different.
Nice. Hogglefart's asking about customization of bike rider, etc. You know, we already have Cranked Collabs, which is a way that if you're hanging with us early, we'll announce the next collab in the next couple of weeks, I think. It's just a way to kind of get in-game exclusive to right now. So if you're interested in that type of thing, Hogglefart, I suggest following us or joining us on the Discord or both, because we talk about it a lot. And when the next collab comes out, you'll get your first opportunity. But yeah, we want a really cool system of great customization so people can kind of express themselves when they're riding with friends in this world.
Yeah, multiplayer will be a big component of this, and I think any good multiplayer game needs to have some deep customization because you want to stand out from other people. The other thing we're going to plan is I really want to make it a point to have a lot of free customization. And but I mean free is like there's not going to be a bunch of paid, there's not going to be microtransactions and paid stuff. But what I mean is like when you first initially start the game, there's already a handful of things unlocked, so that I don't like games when like there's one item unlocked in the beginning and you got to like grind to get stuff, because then everyone looks the exact same for the first like week they play the game or however many hours, right? So I definitely want like a nice selection of kind of already unlocked, ready to go customization for people as soon as they open up the game. And in the past,
Cool.
you know, if you guys played Mad Skills, you know, we've partnered with real brands a lot in Mad Skills, and you know, obviously we've kept those relationships with those brands. So the hope is to get all those kind of brands coming in here. We'll talk with them and try to get real world branded gear and all that stuff.
And before I was making Mad Skills Motocross, I was making the motocross magazine Racer X. Wrote the first website there back in '98 and grew their social media and all that stuff. I was there for almost 20 years. So, you know, I was going to the races with Troy Lee Designs guys and racing crew. I knew, you know, Greg and Pete Fox, the guys who were the sons of, the guy who started that company. I was going to races with those guys for decades. So there's a lot of crossover between moto and mountain biking. And we know a lot of people in both of those worlds, and hopefully we can kind of pull out some cool stuff for people. That's the plan.
Yeah. Right now, the only brand in the game is Frameworks, but we're, you know, like I said, we're only 6 months in, not even. So we'll get more in the future. Right now is not really the time to be throwing in a bunch of brands and customization. We got to get the basics down.
The main thing we're doing with brands is the Cranked Collab stuff, and that's not even your typical brands. Like our first one was Rad Dog Bikes out of El Paso, like a local bike shop, because I wanted the first collab to be like the core of a community. of a bike riding community. It's where Joe gets his bikes, one of Joe's best friends. That was the first collab we did. The second was Space Mesa, Cam McCall's band. So it's mountain bike adjacent. Obviously, Cam McCall was a mountain bike legend, but the collaboration was with his band, and we focused on the music that they're making and that type of thing. So we had a good idea. We have a channel on our Discord where people give us ideas of other people to collab with, and we'll find cool things to do. It's fun. Caleb over on the YouTube side of things was asking if there'll be 2 breaks, and no, we're not going to go that route. I know Mavericks is doing that. It's not something we're going to. We like the way it plays right now as it is.
You can kind of, based on where your weight is leaning, will depend on like how much brake front or rear is happening. So it's a little more simple solution. I don't like. I think the brake needs to be on a trigger where you can like have, you know, 100% brake, 50% brake, whatever. So if you do 2 brakes, now both your triggers are gone, and then you've got to put pedal on the bumper or something else. And I never liked the way that felt. And I don't know. Even in MX bikes, man, I feel like all the pros just hit combined brakes anyway. So it's like, why spend all the time doing that when you're just going to combine them?
Seth.com wants to know if there could be a Red Bull mini game where you drive around and collect all the hidden Red Bulls.
Oh, guys, killer.
Like
Can we land it? Oh, I screwed
good.
that up a little, but we got it.
We've done a lot with Red Bull in the past. Always got along with that crew, and you know they made Straight Rhythm, which was kind of like Mad Skills Motocross in real life. So you know, you never know. We'd be down. We like them.
I'm still gonna send it.
Season says add dynamic camera movement. That's a good one for you, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah. A lot of players are requesting camera settings similar to MX Bikes, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to add in kind of the basics of what MX Bikes has, stuff about how much it tilts in corners, or is the camera connected to the bike, or is it unlocked and more connected to the rider, you know, moving different camera angles, all those kind of things. We'll add those, and then if that makes everyone happy, we'll stop there, and if not, then we'll talk to you guys and figure out what else we need to work on.
Alec keeps asking if you have any videos of you ride. Joe, do you have anything?
Yeah, people have been asking for that. You know, I could probably pull up something. I don't know.
You weren't recording when you busted your arms, were you?
There was a guy behind me, but I ended up going too fast, and he couldn't keep up and didn't get it on video. But I don't have a ton of clips. You know why I don't have a lot of clips? Because a long time ago, I realized like clips of me riding. I mean, if you're not like a pro doing something crazy extreme, doesn't look that cool. And I feel like GoPros and all that stuff never kind of do justice. So a long time ago, I was like, I'm not gonna hassle with like getting the camera set up, finding it, recording it, uploading. It's like, I just want to go out and ride and have fun and not think about anything. And that's what I like about mountain biking is I just get out there. It's like therapy to me. I just forget about everything in life, focus on the trail, and I don't care. So, that's kind of my vibe, but I'll see if I can pull up an old video. I probably have BMX videos. I don't know how many mountain bike videos I have. Let's see. Sorry that you're not seeing anything, but
Lots of people are asking us if they could unlock Carabeel and play as Carabeel.
Let's see. Here you go. This is me from years ago. My little one-footed can at the skate park. That's before when I had shorter hair. But, let's see if there's any other. Oh, this is the very first time I hit a spine. Spines terrify me, and it took me forever, so I was proud of this. Does it look bad? And did I suck at the time? Yes, but that was terrifying to me. First time ever hitting a spine. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have. That's probably like the only 2 riding videos I have on here. One-wheel riding, not a mountain bike. But,
Apple user asks if we ride dirt bikes. I did. I had a Yamaha YZ250 two-stroke back in the day. But I was always more of a street bike guy. Despite the fact that I worked at a motocross magazine, I just always was more into riding street bikes. Had a Triumph Bonneville for a long time, and just kind of more my thing. But I've been on a lot of dirt bikes. I got to ride one of those electric dirt bikes the other day, Joe. I told you about that. Starks. That was cool.
There's me on a BMX bike. I'm not great, guys, but I just have fun doing it, you know? So that's that. I climb more now than anything. More of a low impact sport, unless if you fall from the top of a mountain. then it's high impact.
Hey, Season. Thank you, man. People do think it looks like Descenders. I think it's because there's, we haven't done the art yet, but I do encourage y'all who feel that way to go watch that video that Brent Goes Fast did on YouTube yesterday. Cranked versus Descenders. He likes them both. He talks about how they're different. I think when you watch that video, it's pretty clear that they're very, very different games. My advice, if you're interested.
Let's do another trail. Let's do this one for a bit. Well, who was the guy who's downloading it and playing? Did he get back to us yet?
No, I haven't heard him say anything. I was hoping maybe he's too busy playing. That'd be good.
I was hoping he's having too much fun and he just doesn't want to talk now. We could probably do like one more recap of how to get the game and all that. You want to roll that or you want me to, Brian?
Yeah, I got it. If you want to play, so we are Session Syndicate. We are the OG crew from the Mad Skills Motocross, Mad Skills BMX mobile games. We did that for a long time. Now we're making Cranked. We are self-funded. We are developing this game with radical candor in public. We talk about everything. A lot of times we record our meetings even, and we're going to be making some content out of that stuff. You can currently play the pre-alpha version on our Patreon. Ways that we have people who are supporting us on Patreon. So you'll find the link on the screen, right? Bio, etc. You can just go to Patreon and search for Cranked, and you'll find us. And if you pay $5 for a subscription for 1 month, you'll get every build that we release during the course of that month. So tomorrow we have a new build coming out with the framework spike in it and the drone and all that stuff. And probably we normally do 2 or 3 builds in a month. And you get all of them, and you'll get to keep them all. And you could cancel your subscription after a month if you want. Or you can hang with us and be a part of the development process and have a real impact on what we do. We listen to everybody. We're very active on our Discord. We ask questions all the time. People give us feedback, and we always take it seriously. Lots of decisions have been made in this game because our players gave us ideas or helped us fix a setting or whatever. So yeah, if you go to patreon.com/ it's on the screen, Cranked Game, you'll find us and you can subscribe there if you want. If you try it and you really hate it and it's not for you, just tell us and we'll refund your money. We're not trying to take money from anybody who doesn't like what we're doing. But that's basically, yeah. Also, you could wish list us on Steam. That's very helpful to us. You can follow us on TikTok and YouTube, also very helpful to us. Or share these lives when we do them. That's also helpful if you're interested in supporting this indie effort of ours. I miss anything, Joe?
The only thing I'll add is there's also free tier on Patreon. So if you don't want to play the game and you don't want to pay, but you do want to get like the behind the scene dev blogs and all the juicy details, that is for our free members.
And you can be a free Patreon member and claim Cranked Collab t-shirts as well. You don't have to be a paid member to claim a Cranked Collab t-shirt, which is an in-game t-shirt that you can unlock for future use in the game. Oof.
Man, that's a long distance between splits. Thanks, Alex, for wish listing. Appreciate that. TSDiff said, will it be third person? Yeah, actually, Zach, our programmer, started working on third person today. He already has it working. I don't have it in this build. But now that we've got the new bike model in the game, he's going to start working on third person, working on animating the suspension. Maggie's working on a new rider model. So that's kind of the goal for the next month or two, or however long it takes, is to get third person dialed in with the new bike, the new rider, the body positioning, making stuff look steezy and stylish and nice. And then when all that stuff is done and we're feeling good with the new camera angles and the camera settings and all that, then we're going to move on to multiplayer. So that's the roadmap, the short-term roadmap between now and probably December or Christmas or something like that. When my butt starts hurting, I know the stream is getting close to the ending.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else we need to touch on before we end it? Any plans for a soundtrack? Yeah, we've been talking about it, but I think it's too early for us to figure that out. I don't know. We got to figure out budget and all that. We will have music. Brian and I are huge into music. I mean, you can see guitars in both of our backgrounds. So yeah, music is a huge part of our lives, and we'll try to get some good music in the game. Kind of want to put down one more solid run, and then we could close it out.
Cool. Gab, thanks for the follow on TikTok. And Statue of Liberty, thank you for the follow, and lots of other follows. Yeah, we had a lot of great Caleb, Wimwam, you guys are awesome. Nope, lots of people following us over their season, which is really nice. What's up, YouTube crew? You guys have anything you want us to address today, or did I miss you guys in any way? Anything that we need to talk about before we close this thing off and I go fly fishing? Can't wait.
I can't wait this weekend to go climbing. I'm working on, if any climbers out there, most of you probably don't care about this, but working on my first 512A outside, and I'm getting close. So we're going to go hit that up Saturday, hopefully send it, and I'll be psyched.
Gage, thank you, he says that we mentioned where someone compared the two games. Descenders. Yeah, it's Brent Goes Fast on YouTube. Yesterday did a video called Cranked versus Descenders. And I just feel like it's, you know, it's not us telling you, it's someone else who doesn't work for us and just likes both games, talking about what he likes about each of them. I think it's a really great video. And it's a good way to understand what we're going for. He seems to get it. Thanks, Aaron.
I don't know if I'll be getting a good run, and I don't want to waste your time, Brian, so, you know, we can end it whenever.
I'm just kind of doing a quick run through here. If anybody has anything they want to answer or do real quick before we close out, let us know. But otherwise, I think we're good.
Yeah, Brian and I both play a little guitar. We're nothing. Well, Brian's way better than I am. Brian's actually a super good musician. Every now and then he will like record a song and send it to me, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing with your life? Why aren't you just writing music?
Oh, brother, thank you, man. Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Is the bike going to be more silver? Yeah, that's why we didn't release it today. There's a couple bugs with the bike. One of it is the colors it's the lighting more than anything. But yeah, the colors are a little off. It's a little too muted. So we got to work on that. It's missing some parts. So we're going to fix it up and then add it, hopefully in the build tomorrow. Either way, you're going to get a build tomorrow. Whether it's fully fixed up or not, you'll get it.
Zach Nelson says he thinks first person is better. I love first person in this game right now as well. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when third person's done properly and Zach really gets his hands on it. He's a talented guy, man. It won't surprise me if he makes it killer.
I think, you know, we wanted to focus on first person since racing is a huge part of this game. And I think if you're going to be a competitive racer, you're going to want to play first person. You need to see the lines. You need to see your front tire. You need to see, like, there's times when you need to go between two roots or a rock or something. If you're in third person, you're not going to be able to see that. So I think the meta is going to be for hardcore racers, you're going to be using first person. If you're freestyling and cruising and having fun, I think third person will work too. So that'll be me. I'll be playing first person when I race, and I'll probably be doing third person when I'm doing like free ride and stuff.
And I don't know what I'll do. I'm gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna play them both and see which one works better for me. I'm not sure. I would have thought I'd play third person most, but I've gotten so used to first person that I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, listen, those fish are not gonna catch themselves, so I'm gonna have to call this one.
Yeah.
Joe, anything you want to do before we roll today?
No, I don't think so, other than just recap. New build tomorrow, going out to Patreon members. So if you guys want to get that fresh new build, it's got the new framework spike, it's got the new drone, it's got the new checkpoint system, a bunch of bug fixes and improvements. Those are the main items. And next step is working on third person, getting the new rider model in, animating everything, suspension, making it look pretty. After that, multiplayer. So that's what you got to look forward to if you join Patreon for the next few months. Remember, if you spend $50 on Patreon throughout the course of the whole Patreon thing, you'll get a free Steam key at the end. So hop on now, pay $5 a month. By the end of 10 months, you know, you kind of pay in increments, you get the free game anyway. So thank you everyone for joining. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for wish listing. Thanks for joining our Discord, discord.gg/cranked. Appreciate y'all. Love you guys.
Spread love out there. Thank you, guys. Listen, nice. There's a lot of people giving people crap in this world. It's a tough place right now. Like, look out for people. Look out for the people you love. Look out for the people around you. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you next week for the live. Joe will be doing some more lives, I think, in the coming week, solo. And Julian's probably going to be sidekicking a bit for that stuff. So if you guys are around, I'm sure you'll probably try to announce it on our Discord, Joe.
Absolutely. Yep.
Cool.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Bye. This is the awkward moment where I'm still live, but not. Bye, Aaron. Bye, Tails. Bye, everyone. We love you.
Bye, guys.
All right. I think we are off. We had Peak concurrent 27 on YouTube.